Thanks with flowers. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 60 degrees at 6:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Good morning, Rose Dalton. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, McGraw.
A lumberjack went into a magic forest. He swung to cut down a tree. The tree shouted, "Wait, I'm a talking tree." The lumberjack says, "And you'll dialogue."
Oh, you'll dialogue. Oh, yeah.
Talking tree.
Talking tree, and you'll dialogue. Nice.
Right?
Wow.
Dialogue. Yeah, that was a good one.
That's a thinker.
I always look like reactions.
Well, I thought you'll die alone, but no.
No, fair enough. And a lot of these too, remember we talked, some of them it's hard to see.
You have to
better.
read
Yeah,
them.
is it better in text or orated, right? Because a lot of them are play on words or puns. Anyway.
Speaking of dialogue, good morning this morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
Coming up on the show today, Jim Ryan is going to be joining us. Apparently, criminals are now getting into Pokemon cards.
It was only a matter of time.
So they're stealing Pokemon cards.
That's still
Rare and expensive Pokemon cards.
Okay, Pokemon cards.
But that's still a thing. Like that's
They just had their 30th anniversary.
Pokemon cards. Isn't that kind of like anime too? Kind of, is that?
Yeah.
No? Yeah, okay.
Started out as a card game.
Yeah.
And then they made cartoons of it and movies, and
Now it's a whole thing. Pokemon, man.
got to catch them all.
Jim Ryan's got that at 6:20. Karen Travers, President Trump of the White House is not going to set a timetable for the ceasefire, which is, can we just call it a permanent peace with the Strait of Hormuz closed?
Sure.
Stephen Portnoy is going to be joining us. The Secretary of the Navy was asked to resign, so he left. What is going on there during a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz? So Stephen Portnoy's got that story at 6:50. Brad Garrett's going to be joining us. The mystery of these NASA scientists who some people think have been abducted by aliens. And this is the next conspiracy theory that you're going to be called every name in the book if you don't believe.
It is weird that 11 of them are missing.
Well, first of all,
or have died.
okay, it's they're not NASA scientists. First off, they may have worked at NASA or walked by NASA or got a NASA sticker at one point or went and watched a
They went to space camp.
They went to space camp where they really liked watching Apollo 13. Okay, so that's one. Two, the families of these missing people are saying, all right, relax, calm down. My husband wasn't working on a alien probe while he was at NASA. So the families are saying, relax. Some have gone missing. Some have, a lot of people thought have committed suicide and some other things. So there's a whole lot of sort of missing information that these people aren't filling in. But the headline is, 11 NASA engineers are missing. What's going on?
Hillary Clinton got them.
Yeah. So it's a good conspiracy theory until you start to sort of find out the facts, and then you realize it's not. And there is an explanation for all of these things.
Is there yet? We don't know yet.
No, there is.
Oh, there is.
Brad Garrett will tell us.
There is. They just don't want to tell you that because that sort of ruins their conspiracy.
And when does a conspiracy theory then become, right? Like, because, how often do conspiracy theories often turn into what actually happened?
Yeah.
If ever.
Never. Very rarely. Name for me one conspiracy theory.
Well, when we find out they've been abducted by aliens, you're going to be eating your words.
Name for me one fact that started off as a conspiracy theory.
Ooh.
What one? Name for me one settled fact.
Ooh, settled?
That is everyone can agree that started off as a conspiracy theory.
Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone.
Well, that happened.
He was bankrolled by the Russians.
No, he was not bankrolled by the Russians. No, you've been listening to the wrong podcasts. Okay? Lee Harvey Oswald, again, settled facts. There are very, very well-educated people who've done the research who do believe that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone.
Okay. How about the government gave the Tuskegee Airmen syphilis to find out what it did?
That's a fact.
That is a fact, but
Yes.
it was a conspiracy theory for a long time.
Was it
Yes.
a conspiracy theory, or was it rumored? Or
Yes, until the government finally admitted it.
Wow.
yeah, the Tuskegee experiments where they gave these poor men syphilis to see what would happen. Imagine.
Yeah, because I thought and I only thought they were the first all-black air corpsmen or something, right? The Tuskegee Airmen.
No, I think it was. I think it was done in Tuskegee.
Oh, okay.
The town. So I think, but was it done on the airmen? I don't
know. The only thing I was only ever
Yeah.
familiar that Tuskegee Airmen were
that is true.
An all black.
That is
right.
also true.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know if in the annals of conspiracy theory you would say that was a conspiracy theory.
What about these like PG&E stories, like Aaron Brockovich, things like that, where like
Again,
the
proven facts that they were
could have
But they
contaminating
weren't
the-
at the time. Like
Well,
Watergate.
yeah, I understand it, but no one called up Art Bell and said, "Oh, PG&E is
poisoning our water.
Yeah, that wasn't a conspiracy theory. That was a hidden secret
Okay.
that she exposed. A conspiracy theory is, and I guess I understand what you guys are saying. There's a fine line between,
The government lying to us.
right, like
Castro.
well, no, like what's the contaminated
Coldwater Creek.
Coldwater Creek, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coldwater Creek was exposed that yes, they were dumping chemicals in the Coldwater Creek, but it wasn't a. I don't know. It wasn't a conspiracy theory, right?
Everyone knew it.
A
It's an open
conspiracy
secret.
theory is the world is flat. 9/11 was an inside job.
Right. That someone like conspiracy, right?
Like the Trilateral Commission.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you were to explain or you were to
Like the Earth
find
is
evidence that the Earth actually is flat, that would be a conspiracy theory that turned out to be, right? No.
So it's not usually someone against someone like the government lying to us, right? Like the conspiracy is, it doesn't necessarily have to mean it's
Well,
just
the government lies to us all the time, but obviously.
what?
But I guess the question is a conspiracy. If right, has anybody? There's no proven evidence that somebody was actually abducted by aliens.
Right.
Right. That's a conspiracy theory.
Well, if MLK thought that someone was out to get him, he was right.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean you're wrong.
Yeah, but Hoover was watching MLK Jr.
That is true, but I don't know if that would be considered
That would
a
be his
conspiracy.
paranoia?
That would not be a conspiracy theory.
Chemtrails.
That's proven to be ridiculously false.
It's
But you can't tell this to people or they'll punch you in the face because you're harshing their mellow. You're infringing on their reality. 614 here, Big 550 KTRS. Like the conspiracy theory that Captain Paul Cosby really is a captain. In the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, there's a crash on 64 East at Route K with 2 lanes blocked and only the center lanes getting through. Estimated clearance time is 6:40. An accident on 70 East at the Blanchette Bridge is blocking the 2 right lanes. Congestion on 70 East from Wright City to Forestel has eased after some early morning construction has wrapped up. And 1 southbound lane of 55 will be closed from Park to Arsenal from 8 o'clock this morning until 1 this afternoon for road work. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Couch with your first alert forecast. We're tracking highs towards the mid-80s with mostly sunny skies by the afternoon. A little bit breezier with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Then into Friday, 2 rounds of showers and storms, the first of which going to be during the Ingham commute. Could see some widespread heavy downpours. On top of that, some stronger winds possible. Can't rule out the possibility it's a lower threat of an isolated tornado. That'll continue to push its way through by the afternoon, evening hours. We could see some chances of some isolated strong to severe storms just southeast of St. Louis. That'll push out by the evening hours. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch for the Big 550 KTUS.
Okay, just a quick check to confirm my understanding of the Tuskegee syphilis study. It was done in Tuskegee, Alabama. Tuskegee University, a historically black college in Alabama. 400 African American men with syphilis, as well as a control group. They did not treat the men with syphilis, even though penicillin was widely available, because
and it wasn't the airmen.
It was not the airmen. It was just
That town.
Correct. And they wanted to see the effects of syphilis on non-treated. What would happen if one was treated, one wasn't? And so the unethicalness of this is unimaginable.
They didn't know, right? Is that right?
That's right. The men didn't know. Yeah. So it was a whole thing. But yeah, it was not. And then there was another group, the Tuskegee Airmen, which was a very proud, very decorated squadron of fighter pilots who were African American.
I apologize for the misconception.
There you go.
My information was incorrect.
All right, 617 here, Big 550, KTRS. Morelli or MorelliTuckPointing.com. John Morelli, the owner, and what you do is you call Morelli anytime you've got brick, stone, porches, foundations, anything to do with mortar or bricks or stone, and they'll fix it. It's as simple as that. Why? Because Morelli is 3 generations of tuck pointing, of masons. They've been family-owned since 1991. John's company has. He's president and owner. And they cannot make this any easier. I have called him a number of times to fix some mortar and some traditional tuck pointing, and he got it done. He got it done quick. He got it done inexpensively. Matter of fact, it was the same price as the fly-by-nighters who sort of troll the internet. So if you've got any issues with tuck pointing, Morelli is your go-to. 314-645-1387. 3rd generation of family masons, making it as easy as possible. The word's on the street. Morelli is the gold standard. Morelli or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
It's Jill Farmer. Medicare is overwhelming. Parts, plans, deadlines. It's a lot. That's why so many of you turn to Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man. Ryan breaks Medicare down in plain English, helps you compare options, and make sure you're not overpaying or undercovered. No pressure, no confusion, just clear guidance from someone who actually cares. If you're turning 65, already on Medicare, or helping a parent navigate it all, start with someone you can trust. For the right plan, call a Medicare man. 314-368-6808, MedicareManSTL.com.
Are you or a family member needing to sell your home? Then call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I will buy your home in any condition and always as is. Call me at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. No contingencies, no inspections, just cold hard cash. I'll save you time and money. So make that call now and let me buy your house. RobankProperties.com. That's ROBANG Properties.com.
Are you tired of looking at the same faded walls in your home or office? Are you ready for a change? Call Mike Ruffino and his team at Ruffino's Painting, specializing in interior and exterior, commercial and residential painting. They'll take the time to get to know you, your space, and your expectations to ensure they create the atmosphere you're looking for. Whether it's a simple recoat, a color change, or a complete makeover, you'll work with them together to achieve your desired results. Give them a call or visit them, or call 636-655-0820. Ruffino'sPainting.com. Ruffino's Painting. They're a cut above the rest.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
I'm assuming this is the Pokemon theme. Jim Ryan, ABC News, you've blown the cover off some other conspiracies in the past, but this one, what's going on with my Pokemon collection?
It has become valuable, potentially. It depends upon what's in your collection and how well you've handled them over the years. Yeah, the game started up as kind of a role-playing thing back in 1996, so it's approaching its 30th anniversary. That might be part of the reason that the value of these things has soared over the last year. There is an industry group that watches trading cards and the values of them. It says that they've risen 145% in just the last 12 months. With that, of course, McGraw, comes crime. So shops that sell these cards, the gift shops, the collectible stores, comic book shops, they've all had to beef up their security to avoid being broken into and robbed. So, and it's happening. It's happening all over the country.
I mean, give me a sense of how much money is some of these expensive and valuable Pokemon cards.
Well, we know about the one that fetched $16.5 million at auction recently. Logan Paul, the MMA wrestler, the fighter, he's the one who bought the thing. $16.5 million. And of course, the more value that's added, the more desirable the cards become. It's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy almost.
Sort of like baseball cards.
Like baseball cards, yeah. But and they're in that way, only certain ones are worth a lot of money. The Mickey Mantle rookie card's worth a whole lot of money. The Pikachu Illustrator card, that's the one that fetched so much. So and some of these are much more valuable even than the Mickey Mantle rookie card, believe it or not. And these thefts are happening all over. There was one right there in Aurora, Missouri, a teenager accused of stealing a $1,000 Pokemon card from a collectible store.
Holy mackerel. So where did Pokemon come from? Who's behind back in 1996 when this whole thing started?
A designer in Japan. He when he was a child, he loved bugs. He liked, bugs and drawing and collecting bugs. And that kind of morphed into what we know now as Pikachu and Pokemon, the characters involved in it. So, yeah, I don't think he had any idea what he was getting into with this. But, yeah, there it is. And it's grown to more than just the role-playing game of the cards. It's a whole industry and a whole, subculture of Pokemon lovers.
Yeah, where do you find Pokemon? I mean, are there Pokemon stores that are being robbed?
Well, no. I mean, they're just dealers who are selling Pokemon cards along with the comic books and the baseball cards and the Star Wars memorabilia, that kind of place.
So they're walking past the Spider-Man comic book and grabbing the Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I mean, it's smaller. It's easier to steal, stick in your pocket, walk out of the store, and it's virtually untraceable.
All right, with all the things to worry about, now I got to lock up my Pokemon cards. Jim Ryan, ABC News, good stuff. Thanks for checking in.
Take care, McGraw.
You got it. Pokemon cards. So apparently, there are two of the most expensive Pokemon cards. As he said, the Pikachu Illustrator, and then there's another one called Blackbird, which is considered the two most rare Pokemon cards. And yeah, 16.5 million holds the record for the most expensive Pokemon card.
You know what Pikachu is, though, right?
Not really.
It's the little yellow thing with the lightning tail. You've seen that.
I'm sure. Okay.
So the record for the price
I don't know if I have.
that's set by whoever wanted to buy it. So this Jake Paul or whatever.
Logan Paul.
Logan
MMA
Paul.
fighter.
Oh my God.
Logan Paul
spent $16.5 million.
$16.5 million on February 2026. So a couple months ago.
He's made it.
For the
well done
Pikachu Illustrator. Though, oddly enough, rich people say that it's not, the things like that don't go down in value. That's why rare art is they're not buying it because they love the art. They're buying it as a investment vehicle.
And it's cheaper to port than real estate.
Yeah.
Well, part of me sometimes thinks so, especially people like Logan Paul might be, hey, I can afford to spend $16.5 million on a Pokemon
There
card.
is something of a statement, but I've talked to very, very rich people, and they use it as a investment vehicle, where they buy a painting from Monet or Van Gogh.
Thank you.
And it's some exorbitant price, but then they sell it a few years later, and they've made money on it.
And they're already rich. Well, that's another thing.
Well,
They're already
but
filthy rich, and they just spent that much on an investment because they're worried about.
Well, I don't care how rich you are. You have to put your money somewhere. You can't just stuff it in a mattress.
When it all comes crumbling
I
down.
mean, it's like baseball. It's like sports franchises, right? What were we talking to the other day? I was talking about the sports franchises is a wonderful investment vehicle.
Oh, Randy.
Yes, it's very expensive to buy the New York Mets for $2 billion, or George Steinbrenner, the unheard of sum of $10 million when he bought the New York Yankees from CBS. What do you mean, $10 million? Well, you overpaid
That's
it. Well,
crazy.
Now it's worth, $10 billion. So it's a pretty good investment for $10 million back in 1973.
Yeah.
So.
And you were talking about Jamie Gertz, the actress. Her husband owns, 4 sports teams?
Yeah, so
because he's a billionaire?
Even though it's insane, and if I had $16 million, I would not buy a Pokemon card with it.
You'd buy the banana held up on the wall with the duct tape.
No, I'd buy the original Superman. No, I wouldn't buy any of those things. But, they're investment vehicles, believe it or not. And they're actually pretty good because the prices of these comic books and baseball cards and paintings and Pokemon cards, they don't really go down. They only go up.
If you keep it pristine as you would.
Well, I can't imagine Logan Paul's going to put it in his bike and, put it in his back tire.
Well, and you know what? It's his money. He could, if they got it, spend it on whatever they want.
God love him.
I hope it brings him happiness.
My son just sent his Pokemon cards off to be rated, and it came back essentially to be worth $4,000. He's going to sell it and pay for part of his first car.
One card, $4,000.
My son just sent his Pokemon card off to be rated, and it came back essentially worth to be $4,000. What it's worth and what you get for it are two different things.
Right. It's like Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah.
They're like fainting over you could get. Well, no.
You could get.
That's maybe if someone's willing to pay.
My house is worth $7 million, but I only got a bid for $400,000.
On Antiques Roadshow, they get you in touch with someone that wants to buy it. Usually, they try to facilitate them getting because it makes them look bad if you can't sell it.
627 here, Big 550 KTRS. Speaking of investment vehicles, do you just want to go buy a Pokemon card, or do you actually want to set up a true financial plan for yourself? That's where Kevin Lloyd comes in. He just had a tax seminar on Tuesday. It went swimmingly, and everybody loved it. I knew they would. Calvin knocked it out of the ballpark. And look, here's the deal. You just got finished with taxes. And, thank goodness I don't have to worry about taxes anymore. That's the wrong attitude. Now's the time when you can really start worrying about taxes. And you can worry about taxes in 2027, in 2030, and 2035. How do you worry about them? Well, you strategize in ways to reduce your tax liability going forward. Can't reduce your tax liability going backwards. That's why Kevin Lloyd is here. He'll sit down with you, come up with a true financial plan. He will manipulate the system, if you will, so that he will reduce your taxes going forward. That's good. Leaving more money in your accounts. That's good. Leaving more money in your accounts to grow your accounts. That's even better. That's Kevin Lloyd. What are you waiting for? Close to retirement or retired? It's never too late to start saving money on your taxes and getting a true financial plan. 314-641-1010. 314-641-1010 or the website whenretirementhappens.com. Let's go to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
The Senate has taken the first steps in a new effort to reopen the Department of Homeland Security, voting to adopt a budget plan that would fund ICE and Border Patrol over Democratic objections. The vote early this morning sends the plan to the House. Navy Secretary John Phelan is leaving his job. The Pentagon abruptly announced Wednesday the first head of a military service to depart during President Donald Trump's second term, but just the latest top defense leader to step down or be ousted. No reason was given for the unexpected departure of the Navy's top civilian official. In local headlines, a South St. Louis smoke shop is shutting down in wake of a lawsuit. Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway announced yesterday that Pressure STL has agreed to immediately cease operations and destroy its inventory. That inventory includes products with intoxicating cannabinoids that deceptively mimic well-known candy and snack brands enjoyed by children. And Mercy is once again being recognized. Newsweek has ranked Mercy among America's best maternity hospitals in 2026. Mercy has more birthplaces on the list than any other healthcare system in the states it serves, including Mercy Hospital St. Louis and Mercy Hospital Jefferson locally. 60 degrees. Time now is 6:30. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Captain Paul Kobsky in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Take it away.
McGraw, there's a crash on 64 East at Route K with the left and right lanes blocked and only the center lanes getting through. Traffic is backed up to Winghaven, and the estimated clearance time is 6:40. An accident on 70 East at the Blanchette Bridge has been cleared. 55 North is stop and go at Bayless. And we have a stalled vehicle on 270 North past 44 in the right lane. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rockwood School District. Are you looking for a new part-time or full-time job opportunity? Consider Rockwood School District with openings for custodians, cafeteria workers, and groundskeepers with great benefits, competitive pay, and flexible hours. Apply online at rsdmo.org/jobs. That's rsdmo.org/jobs. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. You know how spring works in St. Louis. One week you're running the furnace, the next week you're flipping on the air conditioner. It's weather whiplash, and your HVAC system feels it too. That's why spring is the perfect time to have the experts at Premier Heating and Cooling check things out. Their technicians go through 5 years of training well beyond industry standards. So when they perform a tune-up, they're making sure your system is running safely, efficiently, and ready for whatever the next St. Louis weather swing brings. If your furnace or air conditioner is older or starting to struggle, Premier can help with that too. They offer financing options that make replacing your system far more manageable, and a new unit can mean better comfort and lower energy bills all year long. So whether it's a quick tune-up or time for an upgrade, call the team that knows how to handle St. Louis weather. 636-916-1122, premierheatingcooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
When you're injured, everything changes. The stress, the bills, the uncertainty. One call changes it all. Underlaw.
They step in, they take on the fight, and they don't back down. You can count on Onderlaw. Onder wins.
At Onderlaw, they've recovered over $5 billion for their clients. No surprises, no hidden fees, just results.
Online at onderlaw.com. Onder wins.
Hallmark Stone is a wholesale fabricator of quartz and granite countertops. They normally only sell to kitchen and bath shops, home stores, remodelers, and builders. But once a year, they open their doors to the general public to benefit Annie's Hope and Carney's Kids charities. This Saturday and Sunday is that weekend. It's the 23rd annual Remnant Sale, where you can buy quartz and granite remnants at up to 50% off retail pricing. Remnants are great for vanity tops, islands, fireplace surrounds, bar tops, and more. David Sherwood and Anne-Marie Boges will be broadcasting live on Saturday from 11 to 1. So come by and say hello. Hallmark Stone, located of I-44 at the Soccer Park exit. For directions, call 636-349-1288. Or better yet, check out their website at hallmarkstone.com. Enjoy extreme savings while benefiting local charities. What a great combination. Stop by Hallmark Stone's 23rd annual Remnant Sale this Saturday and Sunday. For more information, visit hallmarkstone.com.
Every day another adventure. Our greatest discoveries come when we stop searching. Beneath the endless sky, away from the stress of work, the answer to the ancient Zen mystery, the sound of one hand clapping. Take a trip in an RV from Byerly in Eureka.
For the rest of your life, you gotta be there. Byerly RV.
Diana from Newstetter's Fine Jewelers here to remind you, we don't just offer the best pieces, we offer one of the last master hand engravers in our country. My father can create timeless, personal, and unforgettable pieces. Come by our showroom at the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or learn more online at wowdiamonds.com.
McGraw, live in the morning on KTRS.
All right, there is currently, I believe, still a ceasefire in Iran with the United States, even though there's all sorts of issues going on with the Strait of Hormuz. Karen Travers, what is the White House saying? What is Trump saying? What's the latest in all this?
So the president yesterday did a phone conversation with Fox News, and he said that there was no time pressure to have new talks with Iran or agree to a new date for any face-to-face negotiations. He told Fox that there's no time frame right now and that he's in no rush to end the war. He said, people say I want to get it over with because of the midterms. Not true. You know, the president obviously extended this ceasefire with no deadline. And it's notable because we've seen him put many dates certain on different things. You know, you have 48 hours to do this. You have Tuesday till do that. But that's not what we're seeing here. And it's a lot of uncertainty right now as to what will happen next. Caroline Levitt, the press secretary, did a briefing with reporters outside yesterday on the White House driveway. Took a lot of questions on this issue. And my colleague Mary Bruce asked her, how long should Americans be prepared now for this war to go on? And she said, I think the president will ultimately dictate the timeline, and he will do so when he feels it's in the best interest of the United States and the American people. But she also said that there's no set deadline on this ceasefire, that he has not yet put that in place.
And so the Strait of Hormuz continues to be shut down. The blockade continues, even though this ceasefire has still going on, correct?
Yes. And Iran, you know, for their part, in terms of getting them to the negotiating table, they say nothing is going to happen until the U.S. lifts the Navy blockade of Iranian ports near the Strait of Hormuz. Yesterday, the Iranian president had said bad faith, siege, and threats are the main obstacles to genuine negotiation. So they're very dug in at this point of what they want to see happen before they're willing to talk. But the president has said that the blockade has been a tremendous success, and he is not willing to lift it because he says he won't do that until there's a deal. So we're still kind of in that, you know, circular thing here of what's going to have to happen to get everybody back to the table.
Karen Travers, yesterday we heard that the Navy Secretary John Phelan resigned immediately. Did President Trump have any comments on that?
He has not yet. I don't think he has posted on this just yet, but and this was after Caroline had briefed yesterday.
Yeah, all right, good to know. Karen Travers, ABC News. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you.
You got it. 6:38 here, Big 550 KTR. It's coming up in 13 minutes. Stephen Portnoy's got that full story. Navy Secretary John Phelan was asked to resign or have the opportunity to quit. So he is leaving immediately in the midst of a high-profile blockade. So we'll get the story of that coming up here in about 13 minutes. Closer to home, Hillsdale, Missouri. You know where Hillsdale is? Well, won't be surprised if you can't find it on a map. Population 1,216 people. It is 0.35 square miles, and it is a little hamlet in North County, sort of near Velda City, I guess. 1,216 people. Hillsdale, 0.35 square miles.
With its own police force and mayor and fire department.
That is correct. Now, the reason why I bring this up, do you know who Daniel Paulino is?
No.
Story in the Post-Dispatch this morning says that former Velda City administrator and police chief is Daniel Paulino. Last year, he was charged with wire fraud and theft of more than $300,000 in taxpayer money while he was the Velda City administrator and the police chief. Okay? He has pled guilty to these charges in Velda City. and is scheduled to be in federal court today for sentencing. And the recommendation is 31 months sentence for his crimes of stealing more than $300,000 from taxpayers from Velda City. Now, if this guy was the former police chief of Velda City and the former administrator, why am I talking about Hillsdale? Oh, I'll tell you why. Because Chief Daniel Polino is currently a police officer in Hillsdale. He is continuing his employment in Hillsdale despite pleading guilty to stealing the public money. And he was released of his own recognizance in May of 2025, and then the day after, he was hired by the Hillsdale police.
Knowing that he was going to maybe have to serve 2.5 years.
Yeah. Hillsdale Police Chief John Burnson wrote a letter to the U.S. District Judge Christian Stevens for leniency in Polino's sentencing. The letter states that Polino writes grants for the department has obtained $125,000 in the 2 years since working for Hillsdale. Yeah. He says, I consider Dan to be an honest, ethical, professional, and a valuable asset.
I have a question.
Yes, we yield for a question.
Did he say that before or after he was
he wrote
convicted
this, he wrote this in a letter.
Fraud?
He wrote this in a letter on behalf of Daniel Polino to the court.
Oh, in terms of his sentencing?
Yes.
So please don't sentence this convicted man of fraud.
Please
I
show
find
leniency.
him very,
He's my police chief.
very
yes.
honest and ethical.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He now. What's interesting about this is he used the money for car payments, travel, pool supplies, personal utilities, food, among other expenses. He also had money transferred towards a towing business he owned, which is pretty nice. Now, in this letter seeking leniency, I'm sorry. Let me get this again. This is very confusing. He's also transferred money to a towing business he owned with his husband, Sal Zamundo. Zamundo was added to the payroll of Velda City as a part-time public works employee in April of 21 with a listed salary of $30,000 in 2022.
So you know.
Zamundo did not actually perform any work for the city. However, in his own letter, Zamundo, apparently the husband of this guy, said that Polino was a Christian and that the couple are both American Republican patriots. So therefore, they deserve some leniency. Dan currently works for the Hillsdale Police Department in an advisory role because he cares about law enforcement and giving back to the community.
Wait, say that again. That last part.
Zamundo, his husband, says that Dan, his husband, currently works for the Hillsdale Police Department in an advisory role because he cares about law enforcement and giving back to the community. That was part of his leniency thing. Yeah.
This must be a newfound caring about the community and policing after.
Yeah. Polino resigned as Velda City Police Chief and City Administrator in March of 2024 after Aldermen voted against a proposal to merge the city with Hillsdale. So they were going to merge. What? Can't merge. They need two separate police departments. Velda City's police officers also resigned. The city opted to contract with Pagedale for police services that now uses the North County Police Cooperative. So there you go.
So we don't have any word yet on if those letters
had any. I guess we're going to find out today in court.
Okay.
But so the moral of the story goes that the former Velda City Administrator and Police Chief Daniel Polino pled guilty to stealing more than $300,000 in taxpayer money and is currently working as a Hillsdale police officer or in the Hillsdale Police Department in an administrative capacity.
Got it.
The 1,216 people sure must feel safe in Hillsdale, knowing that the Hillsdale's finest are on the job.
It's like you're reading a story from The Onion.
But by golly, we need our 55 police departments. 645, Big 550, KTRS. Captain Paul Kopsky, take it away.
McGraw, there's a crash on 64 East at Route K with the left and right lanes blocked and only the center lanes getting through. Traffic is jammed back to Winghaven. 270 North is crowded between Gravois and 44, and 55 North is stop and go at Bayless, and it remains slow until you reach Carondelet. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Gotch with your first alert forecast. We're tracking highs towards mid-80s, mostly sunny skies, breezy conditions this afternoon with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Then into Friday morning, seeing a long line of showers and storms. Could see some heavier winds, some heavier downpours associated with that. And on top of that, we're going to be tracking a possibility of some more chances of showers and storms just southeast of St. Louis as we head towards the afternoon and early evening hours before clearing, revealing a dry and partly sunny Saturday with highs towards the mid-70s. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
St. Louis Closet Company, happy birthday to Jennifer Williams. Her birthday was yesterday. Hopefully she had a nice time. Look, St. Louis Closet Company is where you want to go to organize all of your house. Pantries, kids' closets, your closets, whether you have a small house or an older home, I should say. Older homes didn't come with big closets, or you have a brand new house with a walk-in closet that can have room for an island and everything else. The bigger the house, the more you need to organize. The smaller the house, the more you need to organize because you got such limited space. Look, St. Louis Closet Company has been doing this for over 30-plus years. They're always working on new designs, new colors, new styles, and their staff there is wonderful. They all work on iPads. With the click of a mouse, they can have the design changed in a matter of seconds. Free in-home estimates. Great St. Louis partner. They help out all sorts of charities. They're there for every small business. They've been doing this for 30-plus years. They redeveloped that whole block there in Maplewood. So for all of your organizational needs, do not be fooled by going with some big corporate franchise. You want to keep it local. St. Louis Closet Company. She is, I want to call her the father of closet organizations. That doesn't make any sense. The mother, she's the original. She's the OG. Let's put it that way. She's the OG. She's the one who got it all started. So make sure it's St. Louis Closet Company. The other ones try and trick you into thinking you're using St. Louis Closet Company, but you're not. St. Louis Closet Co. stlouisclosetco.com, 314-781-9000. Visit the showroom or online, stlouisclosetco.com.
Jill Farmer here from my friends at Patriot Build Sunrooms. Patriot Build Sunrooms now provides expanded offerings like outdoor fireplaces, outdoor grilling centers, and patio covers. Patriot Build Sunrooms. Everything you need to make your backyard into a vacation without having to leave your home. Give Patriot Build Sunrooms a call for a free design consultation. 314-822-3232. Online at patriotbuildsstl.com.
Look at our alums, the contributions that they have made throughout industries in the St. Louis region.
Terry Freerks, a graduate of the University of Missouri, St. Louis.
UMSL is embedded in the fabric of the St. Louis community. We're hands-on, and when our students graduate, they are definitely career ready, but maybe more importantly, they're career confident.
More is what moves us. Find your more at more.umsl.edu.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
Gelmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Gelmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Mom, what do you always say?
There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer.
That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newstetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
$6:50 here, Big 550 KTR. Stephen Portnoy joins us, ABC News. It's a shakeup in the military, Stephen Portnoy. Got a lot of attention. What happened?
You could say that again. The firing, the ouster of the Secretary of the Navy, the top civilian political appointee overseeing the Department of the Navy. John Phelan is his name, and he was not known for his military record because he didn't have one, but he was a financier and someone on the Palm Beach set who was appointed to be the Navy Secretary. Ousted yesterday, and we're told it was that he was asked to step down. John Phelan had been a proponent of the Trump class of warships, part of the Golden Fleet, as it's been described, a component of the $1.5 trillion budget that the Pentagon has proposed to Congress. But he's out, and it's the latest ouster at the Pentagon under Pete Hegseth, including most recently the Army Chief of Staff, a number of generals and other top brass members of all the services. And it's happening in the middle of this ongoing blockade as the U.S. Navy is now interdicting ships. Just this morning we're reporting that in the Indo-Pacific, U.S. military forces interdicted and boarded a tanker that was believed to be transporting oil from Iran, and not in the Strait of Hormuz or the Arabian Sea, but in the Indian Ocean. So this is now happening in a much broader area, and you have now the shakeup at the top of the Navy itself. The Navy is now being run from a civilian angle by Hung Cao, who is the Undersecretary of the Navy, the acting secretary now, a former, and I should say retired naval officer, who is also known in the Northern Virginia area as a politician. He twice unsuccessfully ran for Congress, once in a race for the House, then most recently in a race for the Senate, and in the Trump administration he has served as Undersecretary of the Navy. He is now in the top job on an acting basis.
Yeah. Stephen, what was John Phelan's sin? He seemed to check all the boxes. President Trump liked him. He was well on his way to creating that Golden Fleet, the Trump class of carrier. How did he go awry? Where did he go wrong?
I wish I had an answer to that question. There's been no official explanation and just a whole lot of whispers here. It's really not clear to us why this change was made, but there had been reports of friction between Phelan and Hegseth.
So that's all we know.
For now.
Yeah, for now. Stephen Portnoy, good stuff. Stay tuned. Thanks for checking in.
You bet.
You got it. Yeah, John Phelan leaving immediately during this naval blockade. So as the world turns in Washington, D.C. 6:53 here, Big 550 KTRS. Got a whole bunch of text messages on the police chief of the ex-police chief of Velda City, many of which I cannot read on the air, but I will tell you that quite a bit of interest from the story where the ex-Velda City police chief is now working for the Hillsdale police after waiting sentencing after he pled guilty to $300,000 in theft from Velda City. So there you go. You know, this North City Cooperative is getting bigger and bigger. It's in a sense, at some point, they're going to, if all these small towns keep doing away with their, right, because Velda City, I believe, did away with their own police department, and now they're going with this North County Cooperative Police Department. At some point, you're going to have, like, competing police departments. You're going to have your choice to join the St. Louis County Police, or you can join the North County Police Department, which seems awfully odd. That it would be like, imagine if like New York City had like the New York City Police Department, and then had another police department.
The Bronx.
Yeah, the Bronx Police Department. I mean, that would be just very bizarre. But that's what we're going to. Going from 55 police departments or 52 police departments in the county to having, 20. And that sounds weird, but you're going to have two big ones. You're going to have one St. Louis County Police, and then you're going to have the North County Police Cooperative.
Well, that was the point of it, right? Is to merge all these small towns in North County.
That's
to have,
right.
So
That's
like
right.
Velda Cities, the
I don't know why you just
Kenlocks.
I just don't know why you wouldn't merge with St. Louis County Police. Why create your own police department? You don't want to join St. Louis County Police Department, so these two towns get together and now they have a cooperative where the two merge, and then three merge, and then four merge, and it's like an amoeba, and it keeps annexing these other towns' police departments. So you have now this North County Police Cooperative that is sort of this amoeba. And then I don't cover this town, but I cover that town. I have to drive through a town I don't cover to get to a town that I do cover. And yet St. Louis County goes in there, and if Velda City wanted to contract with St. Louis County Police, they would drive through towns that they didn't cover to Velda City. It makes zero sense.
Well, and when you become a police officer for the county, do you get to choose where you serve, or like you're now an employee of the county? Do they like dispatch you to a certain?
Yeah, they send you wherever they send you.
And then like the home base would be.
Well, yeah,
wherever the
outposts and whatever else, and police substations and whatever else. You're a police officer. You go where your boss tells you.
So, like, they could tell you to go with the North County Cooperative.
No,
the North County
Cooperative has nothing to do with St. Louis County Police.
Oh,
nothing. Has
They're
nothing
their
to
own
do with
separate
it.
entity.
They're their own separate entity.
Now it all makes sense.
I can tell you, tell you to go work the afternoon show, but I can't tell you to go work the afternoon show on the old folks station. Right, so we have two different police departments, and one's getting bigger. So why do you? It's so bizarre to me to have the St. Louis County, North County Police Cooperative, that these towns have these police departments. Well, we can't afford, and we're too small to have our own police department anymore. So let's join this North County Cooperative. Well, why don't you just join St. Louis County Police? Oh no, we don't want to be St. Louis County Police.
Was that an option for them too, just to join?
Absolutely. Yes.
And if these are taxpayer, I guess this is who funds the North County Cooperative.
These are incorporated towns in all over. So Clayton, could have their own police department, or they could join St. Louis County. That's what I'm saying.
Clayton does have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Velda City could have their own police department, but they choose to go with North County Cooperative. They could have gone with St. Louis County Police. I mean, dysfunction. This thing puts the fun in dysfunctional. Holy mackerel! St. Louis County, but this allows the former police chief of Velda City to have a job with the Hillsdale Police. So that's a good reason why to have your own police department. So you could hire former police chiefs who have been indicted. St. Louis County Police or St. Louis County. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, a crash on 64 East at Route K has been cleared with residual congestion back to Winghaven. And this traffic report is brought to you by the Quarry at Crystal Springs Golf Course. The Quarry at Crystal Springs delivers a convenient and affordable golf course that is a true test of any player's game. 4 sets of tees will allow players of all abilities to choose the course length that will best suit their enjoyment. Visit them today. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, here's what we got going on here. What are we doing here? Let's good conversation for Antonio French coming up here a little bit later on in the show. It's actually a pretty good topic for Antonio French. We'll check in with him, what he thinks about this story. Coming up next hour, I got a story about taxes, right? We know about the use tax. We know about the income tax. I have a question about taxes, as taxes is going to be on the ballot coming up this fall. All that straight ahead, 7 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
From
ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. 50 homes burned, thousands of people evacuated. Wildfires are burning throughout southeast Georgia, and they're growing.
34 new fires reported overnight as residents race to escape, some forced to turn around, facing a wall of fire. Firefighters battling the blaze from the ground and the air.
ABC's Matt Rivers in Brantley County, Georgia, where County Manager Joey Kaysen says they aren't joking when it comes to telling people to get out.
If you get that IPAWS alert that says it's a mandatory evacuation, you need to leave immediately.
That region facing its worst drought conditions in more than 2 decades. There's been no sign yet of any peace talks between the United States and Iran, but it appears the U.S. military has seized another tanker believed to have been transporting sanctioned Iranian oil. Now, on Wednesday, Iran's Revolutionary Guard troops took control of 2 vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Marcus Moore in the region.
Iran has suggested that it will not return to the negotiating table until that U.S. blockade on Iranian ports is lifted. President Trump says that blockade scares Iran more than the bombing.
Now, ABC News Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz says Iran is claiming to have collected its first tolls in the Strait of Hormuz, and reports are out that cargo ships won't move without safety guarantees.
It comes amid news of a sobering message to Congress from the head of the Defense Intelligence Agency, despite President Trump's insistence that most of Iran's missiles and drones are gone. Marine Lieutenant General James Adams telling lawmakers Iran retains thousands of missiles and one-way attack drones that can threaten U.S. and partner forces throughout the region.
Israel and Lebanon set to begin their second session of direct talks in Washington today. Secretary of the Navy fired by Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth, who fired the Army Secretary recently as well. President of the European Union says a massive loan to Ukraine has now been approved. This is ABC News.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-551-7672. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-551-7672. That's 800-551-7672. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is the only station of the STL that has been live, local, and locally owned
For 3 decades. The Big 550, KTRS St. Louis. Depend on it.
.61 degrees at 7:03. Here's what's happening now. Family, friends, and the community are preparing to say goodbye to a beloved Wentzville firefighter. A second visitation will be held for Captain Tommy Shine from 9 until 11 this morning at Element Church in Wentzville. A funeral service will immediately follow at the same location. Shine was part of a dramatic rescue of a teenager who fell through an icy lake, which inspired the blockbuster movie Breakthrough. A Columbia, Illinois doctor and urgent care clinic owner has been arrested on an indictment accusing him of defrauding Medicare and Medicaid, along with other offenses. KTRS's David Solomon has the story.
46-year-old Dr. Jonathan Wayne Morris was arrested yesterday after being indicted with 15 counts of illegally prescribing controlled substances and 23 counts of healthcare fraud. Morris has owned Columbia Urgent Care since 2019. From 2019 to 2025, he allegedly caused Medicare and Medicaid to be billed for services provided by him when they were actually performed by assistant physicians who were supposed to be operating under his direct supervision. The indictment also accuses Morris of issuing controlled substance prescriptions outside of the usual course of professional practice to friends, associates, people with substance use disorders, and those with whom he had sexual relationships. David Solomon, KTRS News.
Missouri is set to restrict the sales of intoxicating hemp products. Governor Mike Kehoe will sign a bill into law today that will pull intoxicating hemp products from convenience stores by November 12th. Sales of the products would be limited to licensed marijuana dispensaries. Anheuser-Busch plans to open a new local technical skills training center at its St. Louis brewery as part of the company's investment in its United States operations. The company announced it will be increasing its investment in U.S. operations to $600 million across 2025 and 2026. The new St. Louis Technical Skills Training Center will be one of 15 new centers at AB facilities across the country. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Noel Florist. This week is Professional Administrators Week. Walter Noel Florist makes it easy to say thanks with flowers. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 61 degrees. Time now is 7:05. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
All right, a lot of people complaining to me about the North County Police Cooperative. The North County Police Cooperative is for lack of a better word, an independent police department that is contracted with towns in North County to serve and protect. North County Police Cooperative. That's what it is. It has no affiliation or relation with St. Louis County Police. There may be some jurisdictional sort of overlays on some of the things, but the North County Police Cooperative is its own police department. And they contract with towns. Instead of Velda City having a police department, they contract with North County Police. They could, if they wanted to, contract with St. Louis County Police, but they choose to contract with the North County Police. I don't know what. Don't yell at me. I didn't make the rules. That's the way the game is being played. So don't get mad at me.
What are they saying? Or what's some examples of?
Oh, I mean, they're all over the place. I'm pretty sure you're wrong about this. I'm pretty sure the North County Cooperative is run by St. Louis County. No, it's not. It's not run by St. Louis County. It's run by the North County Police Cooperative.
Jurisdiction.
It's a separate deal. It has no connection. Sam Page does not hire the police chief of the North County Police Cooperative. They have no connect. They have nothing to do with one another.
When you call 911 and it goes to St. Louis County, they'll tell you they'll reroute it back up to the North
I don't know how that works either. I don't know who contracts it with who, but can you contract your 911 services to?
They have their own.
North County Police Cooperative has their own. Okay, so there you go. But
they route them. They go to the main one and then they route them up there. Up north.
Because we can't have 911 services for everybody.
They could contract and just have them.
No, we can't. No, we can't have that.
That would save money.
No, I don't want my 911 call going to St. Louis County. No, I that's unacceptable to me. My town needs its own 911 operator. What's if my cat gets stuck in a tree? And it takes 6 minutes for the police officer to get here.
Can I just
and
say,
not 2 minutes.
I love the whole cat in a tree analogy. Does that ever happen anymore? And B, is the fireman the right person to call for that?
I know. Police officer.
I call North County Police Cooperative.
I know a police officer
because they're very responsive.
And he said that they do get calls.
Oh, I'm sure they get. They get calls that say my garage door won't go down.
No.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. What are you talking about?
It's a crime hazard.
Okay, this is what I want to talk about. So yesterday on the show, it was announced, right, down in Jefferson City, they passed the bill. Coming up this fall, we're going to vote on whether or not we want to do away with our state income tax. So the money you make is your salary. The state charges 4.7% of your income every year, and they want their cut. Okay, so the state wants to do away with the income tax. Now they're going to put other taxes in that they're not telling us to sort of make up for some of that money, but they're not telling us until later. Then you have the county wants you to vote on whether or not you want to inflict a county use tax. Now that's the tax. That's like the sales tax. When you go to the store and you buy a widget and you have a sales tax. Well, when you go online and you buy that same widget, the sales tax is not equal online as it is at the store. So this use tax would then make the online purchase sales tax equal to the brick and mortar sales tax. Okay? So you have the income tax and you have the use tax. But let me ask you this question. What is the most annoying tax we pay?
Visitors tax.
No.
Hotel tax.
No.
Gas?
No. No. What is the most annoying? We all can agree. We can't agree on anything. We're at each other's throats. We have to have our own police departments. But there's one thing we can agree on when it comes to taxes. What's the one tax we all hate to pay?
Income tax.
No.
Concert tickets.
Nope. And when I say this, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, you're right. The personal property tax on your car.
Oh, that you have to
pay every
once.
year. Yeah, right? Can we all agree that writing that check for the personal property tax for your car every year is like grinding your teeth? Why am I paying a personal property tax for the car that I've owned for 10 years, right? Why don't they do away with that tax?
Well, did they have that in New York?
No.
So you say that it's almost like, because I've never questioned it because it's always been that way.
It's just
terrible. Do you know what I mean?
It's
it's never occurred to me that other states do it differently. I've always, we've always had personal property.
It's the worst tax in the world. You're like, whoa. Then then not only that, then if you don't pay it, then they chase you down the street when you want to get your plates for your car. Did you pay your personal property? And then you only pay it on what you own January 1st of the year. Which is another, if you buy it January 2nd, you don't pay for it for, it's so insane.
That's why they tell you to do that.
It's so insane. The personal property tax is so insane.
Cross off any car you did not own on January 1st.
So why don't they do away with that tax? Well, the income tax, I get it. They take it out of your check. You don't really see it's gone. It's annoying. Every tax is annoying. But that personal property tax, it's like they're taking the screwdriver and just twisting it in your stomach. You're like, oh, by the way, here's your personal property tax.
Your perpetual.
It's always due Christmas Eve, right? They always send it to you Christmas Eve. So you're like, this is great, good. I thought I had a couple bucks at the end of the year. Oh, wait a minute. Before you reach the new year, here's one more tax for you.
Is that why people get their cars registered in Illinois to avoid paying personal property tax?
Illinois got their own. But they get you coming and going, right? Some states don't have a personal property tax, but they charge you $600 a year to register your car. So it's like you're paying for it one way or the other.
And that's the same thing with all these doing away with whatever taxes, fine, but you have to make up that money somewhere. So it's like the zoo, it's the greatest free zoo. It's not free.
I know.
It's the same thing.
I know.
So why are we even whatever? It seems is it because certain people won't have to pay as much as other people?
But if the income tax goes away and they jack up the price on the personal property tax, you're going to see pitchforks. You're going to see people with pitchforks marching on Jefferson City because fine. Now you're going to instead of paying $600 for a personal property tax, now you're going to pay $800 for your personal property tax.
Well, it's making data centers that much more desirable to take care of all
that.
that.
Exactly right.
Right, which I feel like that's the conspiracy that this all came at the exact same time.
That's how they sell. If you put this data center in, your personal property tax will go away.
At least your property taxes are going to start, right? The guy from Northern Virginia said the property taxes have gone down because of all the data centers they have in Northern Virginia.
Well, and we just did a story about the failing sewer infrastructure in the city and that they're going to gradually increase the water bills or your sewer bill to, what above? Like, to me.
Sewer bills are going up through the roof regardless.
Right.
I love the no internet sales tax. It's cheaper for me to buy 12 bottles of wine from the state of New York, get free shipping, pay no tax on it. Then I go down to my local liquor store a mile away for the same product. That's why they want to do it. It's because people are putting the brick and mortar store at an unfair disadvantage. But again, like this guy, I don't know if people are going to vote to put a tax on their internet sales. So I don't know if this use tax is going to pass or not. I don't know if anything's going to pass, but I'll tell you what would pass if they put on the ballot to do away with your personal property tax. That would pass 98-2. 714 here, Big 550 KTR. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Scott and Paul.
McGraw, no accidents, and the roads are looking pretty good right now. 55 North is stop and go at Bayless. Heavy volume on 270 North at Doherty Ferry. And in Illinois, 255 North is congested from Route 15 to State Street due to construction. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. We're tracking highs towards the mid-80s with mostly sunny skies by the afternoon. A little bit breezier with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Then into Friday, 2 rounds of showers and storms, the first of which going to be during the AM commute. Could see some widespread heavy downpours. On top of that, some stronger winds possible. Can't rule out the possibility it's a lower threat of an isolated tornado. That'll continue to push its way through by the afternoon, evening hours. We could see some chances of some isolated strong to severe storms just southeast of St. Louis. That'll push out by the evening hours. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550 KTRS.
By the way, we should mention that, let me do this. Can I tell you about Fertilome? Yeah, I'll tell you about Fertilome. Fertilome or Fertilome.com. F-E-R-T-I, Fertilome, L-O-M-E, Fertilome. It's fertilizer, and it is not to be found in the big box stores. Why? Well, because the good stuff is found in the independent lawn and garden dealers. You want to go there, and they're the authorized dealers. Ask the questions, what do I need? There's all sorts of Fertilome products out there. You want the spring application, the crabgrass preventer, the dandelion preventer. It will green up your yard. It will promote growth. It will keep the weeds from coming up. So when the weeds die out now, it'll stop the new ones from coming up. Fertilome is where you want to go. Slow release. It'll feed your lawn up to 8 hours. Somewhat confusing. So when you go to the authorized dealer, ask for it and say, hey, I'm looking for the Fertilome for the spring application. How much do I need? How do I put it down? They'll help you every step of the way. And in fact, they'll probably even help you put it in your car for you too. Fertilome, F-E-R-T-I. Go to Fertilome.com and then type in your zip code. Find the local authorized dealer here in town, and you're well on your way. Fertilome or Fertilome.com.
You voted, we listened. On Friday, April 24th, the Cardinals take on the Seattle Mariners, and Busch Stadium is going dark. That night, you will receive the all-new Cardinals jersey, Dark Mode, presented by Phillips 66. This fan-selected look was brought to life for the ballpark and designed to stand out in the stands. A limited giveaway you can only get at the game. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Victor Scott II. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com.
The weekend starts here. Grab your crew and kick it off at Friday Night Live at Busch Stadium. Every Friday night home game, Budweiser Terrace turns into the hottest happy hour in the Lou with $5 beers, $5 hot dogs, $7 margaritas, live music, and more all game long. Meet up with friends, soak in the energy, and keep the night going with baseball under the lights. Good vibes, great deals, your new Friday tradition. Get tickets now at cardinals.com.
The final stretch of your career isn't about slowing down. It's about getting strategic. Those last 5 years before retirement can define your financial future, from maximizing contributions and paying off high-interest debt to mapping out health care and testing your post-retirement budget. This is your moment to take control. At Pioneer Wealth Management, we help you connect all the moving parts. Real peace of mind starts long before your final paycheck. Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Pioneer Wealth Management and Creative One Wealth are unaffiliated. Life insurance professional investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal.
My name's Dominic Badine. I'm calling from Massa's Italian Restaurant out here in St. Charles, and we've been a proud partner of KTRS throughout the years. We'd like to congratulate everyone at the Big 550 on their 30th anniversary, and here's to many more great years ahead.
Kirkwood Florist has been a family-owned florist and gift shop since 1951. For over 70 years, Kirkwood Florist has been delivering extraordinary floral experiences every day for every event. Kirkwood Florist has an award-winning design team, friendly customer service and logistics staff, and a great gift shop. They offer same-day, fast delivery to most St. Louis areas if in by noon, with fresh flowers, plants, and unique gift items. Kirkwood Florist, family-owned since 1951. KirkwoodFlorist.com.
At Midland, we know sometimes all it takes is a moment for an idea to spark, or to make it happen, a moment to find your dream, or build one, a moment to start your forever, or at least start planning for it. Whatever moments you have, Midland is here for them, and can help you make them. Midland, brighter together. Visit us at midlandsb.com. Midland States Bank is member FDIC.
We hear so much about quality time, but it's the quantity of time that we want. Every member of the family gets enlisted in so many activities. As quality time usurps quantity, there is so little time to enjoy the freedoms that make America the envy of the world. If we could only unplug, disengage, and spend quality time together, well, we can, in an RV. Escape into a whole new world in a Byerly RV.
Byerly RV.
Wherever you go, you're always at home in a Byerly RV.
Live from Studio 550, this is The McGraw Show on KTRS.
Personal property taxes are not collected by the state. Those are local taxes collected by the cities and or the counties. I don't care who collects it. Nobody likes it. Sales taxes are collected by the state, the local, this one, that one, every municipality, everyone's got their hand out on the sales tax. So it is what it is. Should Schnarr's Hardware start stocking up on pitchforks? No one owns them anymore. Yeah. The school districts would take a huge hit. How do you find the school districts? How do you fund the school districts once you get rid of any and all taxes? Hey, man, that's your problem. Let's just do away with the income
I thought
tax.
the lottery was taking care of that.
Yeah.
Or the gambling or something.
The gambling.
Right?
Well, yeah, and the schools are property taxes for the most part, but they do get a lot of money from the state. People with temp tags shouldn't have. People with temp tags haven't paid personal property taxes, as their cars aren't registered. Make them pay, and we wouldn't need additional taxes. If the property tax is eliminated, what taxes will increase? They're not telling us. It's for me to know and for you to find out. Right. That is the official word from the state of Missouri. That's what they're saying.
But the Royals are staying put.
It's for me to know and you to find out. That's what the state is saying. We'll let you know.
This is the show me state. Show me where my taxes are going to increase.
It's going to be, we'll do it whenever we get around to it. Maybe they can get rid of the 1% earnings tax in the city with all these data centers. Could you imagine?
$9 billion a year? How many will we have to put in?
No. Hold on a second. The 1% earnings tax is not $9 billion.
No, but a data center could make.
Yes, but the earnings tax in the city, is that $100 million? I don't know the number. So if do away with the earnings tax, how much would you have to make up? I don't know that answer. You need a couple more data centers than just the armory, but the guy's onto something. If you could do a couple more data centers, and these data centers that St. Charles County doesn't want and Festus doesn't want, put them in the city, and they got plenty of land, in a sense, and put a couple data centers in there. Maybe that would be enough to sort of make a dent into the 1% earnings tax. Can you imagine?
Approximately $200 million.
$200 million. Okay, there you go.
That's all you need to replace.
Lots of people calling up about the North County Police Cooperative. Apparently, a lot of people didn't know about this, but after the Ferguson riots, they started sort of they put in the law that you couldn't make so much money on tickets, which sort of defunded the police in a sense. And so these police departments were sort of bled dry and didn't want to join the county. So instead decided to start this sort of North County Police Cooperative. Here are the towns that no longer have their own police department, but instead contract with the North County Police Cooperative, which is an independent police department where they're pooling their resources in yes, I yield for a question.
I wanted to throw in what I thought would be like Delwood, Riverview, Spanish Lake.
Well, I'll read for you the towns.
I know.
I'm going to read for you the towns that have.
No, they're in the cooperative.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. They do not have a police department. They're part of the cooperative. So they're pooling their resources, right, if you will.
Sure.
Yeah.
And this was post Ferguson?
Yes, this is
that's
a
what
lot
kind of brought.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
10 years ish.
Delwood, Pine Lawn, Wellston, Veneta Park, Hanley Hills, Velda Village Hills, Floordale Hills, Beverly Hills, Uplands Park, and Velda City. 1, 2, 3,
10.
4, 5. Okay, so 10. Those 10 towns make up the North County Police Cooperative. Population in those 10 towns, 16,764. The square miles of those 10 towns, 4.29 square miles.
Less than 5.
So the police cooperative, actually, believe it or not, they're hiring police officers.
So could some of those counties in North decide to
Those towns.
let's say Riverview Gardens, could they decide we don't have enough people to do our own, then we're gonna partner with St. Louis County Police?
Yes, they can choose.
They have a
to do
choice,
it. Yes,
right?
they
Either
do.
county or they do the
That
cooperative.
is correct. And St. Louis County, I believe, has a couple of towns up there that the town decided, instead of joining the St. Louis County Police Cooperative, decided to join St. Louis County.
Like Jennings.
It might be Jennings. There was one or two that they have to drive through the North County Cooperative
So that was my next
areas
question.
to get to the St. Louis County
So they
area.
are not all connected with each
It
other.
is not contiguous.
It's disjointed, like
That is correct.
Alaska and Hawaii.
Like St. George, right? St. George, remember St.
Yeah.
George in South County did away with they just disincorporated altogether, did away with their police department, and now contract with, or they were sort of absorbed into St. Louis County. But there are towns, if you want to stay a town, let's say Kirkwood wanted to stay a town and still have a mayor and whatever else, but they wanted to contract their police department with St. Louis County Police, they could do that. So there you go.
And like the mayor makes that decision?
Well, the mayor and the hierarchy and the aldermen and everything else, however it all works. So there you go. That's the North County Police Cooperative. Independent of St. Louis County. Sam Page does not decide who is the police chief for the North County Cooperative. It's their own independent deal. 7:27 here at Big 550 KTRS. How would you like to deal with finances? Me, not so much. I don't like paperwork. That stuff makes my head hurt. Don't know anything about it. But you know what? One small little fact here. Do you know that if you have more than $250,000 in value in your home, right, equity in your home after you bought it, here comes the tax man. How do you avoid paying taxes on that, right? Housing prices have gone up. Mom and dad have lived in the house for 50 years. They paid $5,000 for it 50 years ago. What's it worth today? You want to be able to sort of navigate that and avoid the tax man. And now they're going into the nursing home. Maybe we could tap into some of that money from the house. Maybe we want to save some for the grandkids. Well, here's what they want to do. What about my kids? How do I want to protect my assets? All of those things are legitimate questions. And the question is, where do you turn? Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, Carolyn Stolzer, BeckElderLaw.com. That's where you turn. They've been doing this for 50 years. They have the respect of the industry. They have the respect of their fellow attorneys. And they certainly got my respect because they helped us navigate these waters when it was time for mom to go to the nursing home. Beck, Lennox, Stolzer. They're in St. Charles, but they'll be able to help you in Illinois, Missouri, north, south, east, and west. And when you have nowhere else to turn, don't wait till you're completely frustrated. Call now and get on the calendar, walk in, and they will set you up with a free consultation to let you know how they can help and if they can help. It's a godsend. So what are you waiting for? BeckElderLaw.com. Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, Carolyn Stolzer, 636-946-7899 or BeckElderLaw.com. Captain Paul, St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, good morning.
Good morning, McGraw. No accidents, and the roads are looking pretty good right now. 55 North is an issue, though. It's stop and go at Bayless and remains slow until you reach Carondelet. Heavy volume on 270 North between 55 and Gravois and from Doherty Ferry to Manchester. In Illinois, 255 North is congested from Route 15 to State Street due to construction, and 64 West is running a little slow from US 50 in O'Fallon, Illinois to near 157. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
63 degrees today, and we're headed all the way up to 84 with plenty of sunshine. The weather these last couple of days have been just delicious. It's gorgeous. Get outside and walk around and enjoy it. 84 the high today. Overnight tonight, we get some thunderstorms developing. Late low of 62, and we get some early morning thunderstorms as well. So the overnight low is 62. Tomorrow, we get some clouds and a high of 74. 63 right now at 7:30. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
This newscast is brought to you by Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man. The U.S. military has seized another tanker associated with the smuggling of Iranian oil. The move ratcheted up a standoff with Iran a day after its paramilitary Revolutionary Guards took control of 2 vessels in the crucial Strait of Hormuz. Lebanon and Israel are set to begin a second session of direct talks in Washington. The discussions scheduled for today are focused on extending a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah and planning future negotiations. In local headlines, the Belleville City Council approved a memorandum of understanding that outlines a working relationship between the city's police department and Metro East Organizing Coalition. Police will share information that can help the faith-based nonprofit identity neighborhoods at risk of violence or in need of conflict resolution. Law enforcement agencies across the St. Louis area are partnering with the DEA for National Drug Take-Back Day this weekend. Officials are urging residents to visit a local collection center to dispose of unwanted or expired prescription medications. Are you or a family member turning 65, and are you happy with your current health plan? For the right plan, call the Medicare man, Ryan Raphael, at 314-368-6808. 62 degrees. Time now is 7:31. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Hardwood floors. I was having the story with my sister yesterday. Grandma and Grandpa, right? They had carpet on their floor for years and years, and they ripped it up, and they had this beautiful, gorgeous hardwood floor underneath, right? Sort of pristine. So, yeah, right? Carpet. For some reason, carpet was a good idea. Now it's all about hardwood floors. And so sometimes when you rip up the carpet, there is no hardwood floors. Sometimes it's beautiful hardwood floors. Sometimes it's kind of been destroyed over the years. Look, if you've got hardwood floors in your future, the style, the selection, the design, the implementation, all of it starts at Boardwalk Hardwood Floors. 25 years going strong. It's a very simple business model. They have a selection of hardwood floors that is second to none. The style, the species, the design, the color, all of it. It's overwhelming. And so they carry it all, and then they'll give it to you at a better price than everybody else in town. Then they have installers. They don't make a nickel off the installation. They turn that over to the companies to do it, but all they want is them to take care of Boardwalk Hardwood Floor customers. And so that's what they do. It's been a great business model for 25 years. So if you're looking for hardwood floors, home show sale pricing going on right now. So Boardwalk Hardwood Floors, 4 area locations. Go in, see for yourself what everyone's been talking about and why people have loved going to Boardwalk Hardwood Floors for 25 years for all of their flooring needs. Boardwalk Hardwood, 4 area locations, plus home show sale pricing going on right now. BoardwalkHardwood.com.
Hey, turn the music down for 1 second. Listen, that annoying sound, it's probably nothing, right? That's how expensive repairs start. JJ Weatherholt here. In baseball, ignore the signs and you'll pay for it fast. Same with your car, because breakdowns don't wait until you're ready. That's why there's CarShield. It can help cover the cost of expensive repairs. When something goes wrong, you've got a plan before you're on the shoulder with your hazards on.
Don't get caught looking. Get a free quote today at carshield.com. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor with Capital Advisory Group. Now, more than ever, having a tax strategy to protect and grow your wealth is an absolute must. Every Saturday, Josh Gilbert and I will discuss how you can keep what's yours, because the most important part of your wealth plan is your tax plan. That's Keep What's Yours this Saturday afternoon.
Capital Advisory Group presents Keep What's Yours with Jeff Zufall and Josh Gilbert this Saturday afternoon at 3 on the Big 550 KTRS.
You're selling your home, and I want to buy it. This is Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I am ready to pay top dollar for your home. No contingencies, no inspections, no monkey business. I buy your home no matter the condition or location, and you walk away with cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867, 314-283-0867, or at robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
The St. Louis Chess Club is a newly expanded 30,000 square foot state-of-the-art chess center featuring world-class tournament playing halls, classrooms, library, and casual play spaces for everyone who loves the game.
But it's so much more than a place to play.
It's where champions are built on the board, in the classroom, and across the community with a mission to bring the game to everyone from all levels, with membership starting at just $15 a month.
Discover the excitement, the challenge, and the community of chess at stlouischessclub.org.
I'm Reed Millard, president of Lupton Millard Chapel of St. Louis. We've been faithfully serving St. Louis families for generations. At Lupton Millard Chapel, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve. A traditional church funeral or a unique celebration of life. Providing the finest in services and attention to detail has always been the hallmark of our family.
Lupton Millard Chapel, the leader in excellence since 1905. For more information, go to luptonmillardchapel.com.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
Oh, my man, Brad Garrett, ABC News Crime and Terrorism Analyst, also conspiracy theorist. Brad Garrett, thanks for joining us, Brad.
Good morning, McGraw.
All right, let's talk about these missing NASA scientists, which really aren't really NASA scientists, and they really aren't necessarily missing. What's the story here?
Okay, so there are some of them that are quote-unquote missing. Are they in more likelihood than less likelihood suicides, and they just haven't been found? I think that is reasonable. I don't see any connection between their particular jobs. There were two of them that at some point were colleagues, but in the science classified government world, whether it's nuclear or anti-gravity or space or weapons systems, people cross paths. So anyway, you have that. Two of them have disappeared or gone. Two of them are murders that have both been solved. One of them you'll know about, McGraw. Remember the mass shooter at Brown University?
Yeah.
He then went up the road to MIT and plugged a classmate, an engineering classmate, because they were both from Portugal, if I recall. That was clearly revenge-driven, mental health-driven, etc. And then a Caltech professor was killed on the front lawn, and they caught that guy. Those both seem to be separate and independent of each other. I guess the short answer, with the following caveat, because I do this for a living, this is not enough information to just say they aren't connected. Based on public source information, I don't see them connected. And let's face it, scientists, McGraw, are like you and I and the rest of humanity. We have our failings. We get depressed. We get suicidal. We just want to end life. And I think some of these cases, that's what this falls into. I mean, 50,000 people a year kill themselves in this country. So we'll see. I mean, if the FBI, NASA, and the Department of Energy jump into this because Congress is making noise that they want that to happen, we'll see.
Hasn't also a couple of the families said, hey, what are you talking about? My husband left me, or the families have sort of come out and said there's no there. He wasn't working on any secret government alien plot or something.
Well, all right. And then beyond that, I mean, let's quickly just use the Air Force general that left his house with a firearm and made some reference. I don't know what this means, that, he didn't want to be found. That could have been, it meant that he just didn't want to be found that day because he wanted to hike, and he's never been found. What was going on with him mental health-wise? But he'd been retired for several years. So why would you go after him or go after, a female scientist that, might be an astrophysicist that did things in the government that were classified, but so what? Thousands of people do stuff every day that's classified.
This story, though, you also 10 NASA scientists have gone missing over the last 2 years. Oh, that sounds like a scandal. But all you do is scratch the surface and you realize that's sort of loosely based on the facts. And once you scratch a little deeper, it realizes that it's really not a conspiracy theory at all. But Brad, let me ask you this question. We were having this conversation earlier. Has there ever been a time, and I hate to put you on the spot like this, but I will because you're an FBI man. Has there ever been a time where a conspiracy theory actually turned out to be true?
Probably. I mean, there are theories that sound wacky, but then when you put seasoned investigators on them, that they do find links that maybe match. Now, is that in the huge minority? The answer is yes, because let's face it, between the internet, social media, and politicians saying things that aren't true, or people in the public face say that aren't true, you get all these conspiracy theories started. I mean, it's endless. I can see this story is like a dream for conspiracy theorists, right? You mentioned UFOs and 3-star generals that have disappeared, and I mean, you can turn this into a Netflix 8-part series pretty quickly in your own mind.
Yeah. Hey, real quick about Nancy Guthrie. That case has gone cold, huh? There's just nothing there.
Yeah, I mean, I have my own thoughts about that case. I don't think McGraw quickly ever designed to be a ransom kidnapping. That's a personal revenge kidnapping for whatever reason. I have my own views that I'm not going to share on the air as to what that is or is not, but it never struck me as that, ransom kidnapping, right? You grab person A, ask for X amount of money, you get the money or you get caught, and we go on. That, yes, there were some internet folks that said that they had her, but I don't think the FBI's never talked about it. But it sounds like to me that never went anywhere. And you have that goofy guy at the front door, waving branches in front of the camera and so forth, who's probably the main player in this.
Yeah, sad story all the way around. But February 1st, and the trail has gone cold. Brad Garrett, ABC News crime and terrorism analyst. We thank you for your insight, and we thank you for your sanity. Thanks for checking in.
Take care, McGraw.
All right, 742 here, Big 550 KTRS.
Hallmark Stone is a wholesale fabricator of quartz and granite countertops. They normally only sell to kitchen and bath shops, home stores, remodelers, and builders. But once a year, they open their doors to the general public to benefit Annie's Hope and Carney's Kids charities. This Saturday and Sunday is that weekend. It's the 23rd annual Remnant Sale, where you can buy quartz and granite remnants at up to 50% off retail pricing. Remnants are great for vanity tops, islands, fireplace surrounds, bar tops, and more. David Sherwood and Anne-Marie Boges will be broadcasting live on Saturday from 11 to 1. So come by and say hello. Hallmark Stone, located of I-44 at the Soccer Park exit. For directions, call 636-349-1288. Or better yet, check out their website at hallmarkstone.com. Enjoy extreme savings while benefiting local charities. What a great combination. Stop by Hallmark Stone's 23rd annual Remnant Sale this Saturday and Sunday. For more information, visit hallmarkstone.com.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. You know how spring works in St. Louis. 1 week you're running the furnace, the next week you're flipping on the air conditioner. It's weather whiplash, and your HVAC system feels it too. That's why spring is the perfect time to have the experts at Premier Heating and Cooling check things out. Their technicians go through 5 years of training well beyond industry standards. So when they perform a tune-up, they're making sure your system is running safely, efficiently, and ready for whatever the next St. Louis weather swing brings. If your furnace or air conditioner is older or starting to struggle, Premier can help with that too. They offer financing options that make replacing your system far more manageable, and a new unit can mean better comfort and lower energy bills all year long. So whether it's a quick tune-up or time for an upgrade, call the team that knows how to handle St. Louis weather. 636-916-1122, premierheatingcooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Mark Lawson here, owner of Black Fox Cooper. We're an Anderson certified contractor. That means every window we install meets Anderson's exacting standards for quality, performance, and durability, and our installation is guaranteed for 2 years, in addition to the 20-year warranty on the glass. With over 20 years experience knowing our customers, we install the optimal windows to keep your home comfortable, efficient year-round, and most projects are completed within a day or two with minimal disruption to your daily routine. Financing is available. Call 314-270-1484 for a free consultation and estimate, or online at blackfoxcooper.com.
Hey, Heidi here from my friends at Premier U. Spring is right around the corner, and this is your moment. The season of fresh starts now. Longer days, more energy. At Premier U, they don't guess, they personalize. Whether it's metabolic testing, hormone optimization, weight management, or IV support, they build a plan around you. If you've been saying I'll start soon, this is soon. Spring forward with clarity, confidence, and a strategy that works. Check out premierumed.com or call them today, because this is your season.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, we are still accident-free in what has been a relatively quiet morning commute. 55 North is an issue, though. It's stop and go at Bayless. Heavy volume on 270 North from Doherty Ferry to Manchester. 64 East bogs down around Clarkson and further east at 170. 64 West is busy from Hampton to McCausland. In Illinois, 255 North is congested from Route 15 to State Street due to construction. And 64 West is running slow from US 50 in O'Fallon, Illinois to near 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Gotch with your first alert forecast. We're tracking highs towards mid-80s, mostly sunny skies, breezy conditions this afternoon with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Then into Friday morning, seeing a long line of showers and storms. Could see some heavier winds, some heavier downpours associated with that. And on top of that, we're going to be tracking a possibility of some more chances of showers and storms just southeast of St. Louis as we head towards the afternoon and early evening hours before clearing, revealing a dry and partly sunny Saturday with highs towards the mid-70s. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk Lisi Lumber. Can we talk Lisi Lumber? You looking for a pergola? You looking for a gazebo? Maybe a trellis? I love me any one of them. I love a good trellis. Love a good pergola. Love a good pavilion. Lisi Lumber can build it for you. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to take the measurements of what you want. Big, small, square, rectangle, diagonal, whatever you need. And you're going to send it to Lisi Lumber. Then they're going to build it for you. And they're going to put it together for you. Make sure it fits. Then they're going to take it apart, put it on their truck, and they're going to deliver it to you wherever you want it delivered. And then you're going to put it together because it's been already put together. And you're going to save yourself some serious money because Lisi Lumber is offering pre-assembled pergolas, pavilions, and trellises. Pre-assembled, but also custom-made because you're going to send them the measurements. So you're going to get a custom-made pergola, pavilion, or trellis at a fraction of the cost. Lisi Lumber knows what's going on. Since 1872, 2 lumber yards, 1 great family, the knowledgeable staff, the exceptional customer service. They're known for the best hardwoods, the best woods, the best material, the best customer service, the best pricing. That's how they've been able to compete with the big boys all these years. They'll deliver anywhere within a 200-mile radius. So if you're looking for that pergola or that pavilion or that trellis, Lisi Lumber, just get them the information, and they'll build it for you and get it delivered to you. 618-234-0105 or Lisi, L-I-E-S-E, LisiLumber.com.
Hey, it's Heidi, and I feel very lucky to love where I live. And I know Lauren Risley feels the same. And her team at Lauren Risley Realty wants you to experience that same great feeling. One of their mottos at Lauren Risley Realty is love where you live or move. Dream homes are their specialty. Actually, they do a lot of things right because When you buy or sell a home, it's not just a transaction. What the Lauren Risley team does is build relationships, and I've seen that firsthand. So if you have plans to buy, sell, invest, or just have a question about any of it, call Lauren Risley Realty, 314-775-0684. That's 314-775-0684. You can also email Lauren at hello@laurenrisleyrealty.com.
Breaking news for your home. Way Day is here. It's Wayfair's big sale, where you can score the best deals in home, like up to 80% off with free shipping on everything. Plus surprise flash deals all Way Day long. You won't find better deals for your home anywhere else. We're talking furniture, decor, rugs, and more, all at Wayfair, and all up to 80% off during Way Day. So don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Way Day now through April 27th to score the best deals in home.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com, or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, not being snarky, honest, but why does Rose have such a big picture in the live feed? It makes the living people's pictures bigger. Oh, make the living people's picture bigger. Yeah, why does Rose's picture bigger? Why does she have more airtime on the TV screen than I do?
Hers is the exact same size as yours.
I got to lose some weight.
I mean, I can make the camera wider.
Holy mackerel. Let's see here. McGraw, I'd love to hear Brad Garrett's philosophy on the kidnapping. Have him on to talk about that, please. He just said he wasn't going to mention it on the air.
Quote, I don't want to talk about this on the air.
Please McGraw-splain pre-assembled. I love these people who yell at me for McGraw-splaining. It's really quite annoying. It's really very annoying.
So you have to put it together, but it's already assembled.
Yeah, anyway, never mind. 8, 9, 10. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. Holy mackerel. Okay. All right, 7:52 here, Big 550 KTS. I'm hesitant. I'm hesitant to bring this up on the airwaves.
It's too late now. Go for it.
Only because I kind of feel bad. But my
oh no.
My sister's in town.
Oh no.
Tread lightly.
My sister's in town. And let me tell you, my sister is a saint. Anyone who's met my sister knows Linda, the oldest, is a saint. And she's been on the KTRS trips. Everyone who's ever met her says, "Oh my, you are annoying, McGraw." But your sister, Linda, is a saint. She's a saint. And
what'd your grandma say about her?
My grandmother said, if anybody ever comes in here and says, I have videotape of Linda robbing a bank, my grandmother would say, I don't believe you, because not my sweet Linda. My sweet Linda would never do anything wrong. If somebody came in here and said they heard that a McGraw robbed a bank, I would believe them, and I would, you would never see the light of day.
Sure.
Okay. So she's in town this week, and we're having a very enjoyable time. And so the other day, she says, "Oh, I'll go pick up Emerson from school." So she goes and picks up Emerson, and on the way, she realizes that the Johnny Londoff truck is low on gas. So she says, "I'll go to the gas station and fill up the gas tank." That's what a nice sister does for a brother. So she goes to the gas station and fills up the truck. There's only one small problem. She put diesel in the truck, and it's regular gasoline. So she goes to picks up Emerson, and then 1.2 miles away, the car starts to... And she gets over to the side of the road, and if you happen to see a Johnny Londoff truck right near the highway yesterday or the day before, she calls me and she says, your truck broke down. I was like, no, it didn't. What? She's like, well, no, seriously, it started sputtering, and then I got it off to the shoulder, and I was like, really? She's like, yeah, I filled it up with diesel, and now I got all... And I was like, oh, my goodness, no, please don't. So stay there. I hop in the car. I call Jimmy Sappho over Johnny Londoff. Jimmy, let's say my sister put diesel in the car. He goes, first of all, this happens all the time.
Oh, good.
He said it happens all the time that people put the wrong gas in the wrong car. Okay. He says, second of all, turn it off. Did she drive it? I'm like, yeah, she drove it about 5 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles. He goes, oh, good. He goes, turn it off. We'll go and get it. So it's now at Johnny Londoff being repaired. We'll see what the damage is. But here's what I learned. Well, first of all, everyone's safe. Mm-hmm. God love you.
You're not mad at Linda anymore.
No, I was never mad at Linda. How can you be mad at Linda? But I get a little, copy out of it. I get a little content out of it. That's all I really.
Her for
that's
a while.
all I really care about. Yeah, no, exactly. Yes, I can hold this over her head for years. But here's what I learned about this, because apparently this happens all the time.
Sure.
Where people put the diesel in the gas and the gas in the diesel.
Because they couldn't differentiate between the two pumps. They accidentally.
So here's the deal. Okay. So this is what I learned.
That's why they made the things bigger.
That's what listen to this. No. So I always thought the nozzle was bigger and you couldn't fit the nozzle in the to protect. But that apparently only happens at truck stops where trucks go.
If you go to Wally's.
If you go to a regular traditional gas station, there are cars that are diesel, BMWs and whatever else, and Mercedes and whatever else. And so they keep the nozzle the same for the cars that are diesel so that you can put the diesel nozzle in the diesel car. And so that's what I always thought, that how do you put the diesel knob never fit in the other one? And so because there are diesel cars. And so it happens all the time that diesel, which is a much thicker, I also learned this, diesel is much thicker, so it goes in the gasoline engine, it gums it up because it's thicker. And whereas if you have to do one of the two, if you make the mistake,
gas and a diesel.
You'd rather have diesel in a gas engine than gas in a diesel engine.
Oh.
I learned that too. Gas in a diesel engine is way worse than diesel gas in a gas engine. Yeah. So so Londoff and the gang over there at the Autoplex is going to fix it. And I said, is there any long-term effects? He said there should be no long-term effects. He says we might have to change out the fuel line. We might have to change some of the spark plugs. We got to drain the tank. But if you drove on it only for a little bit, you should be fine. But if you do it over a course of, I don't know, longer than that, you could cause some...
Which your car will not let you do.
Right, yeah. You could cause some real damage.
I can see that, there's been times when I'm like, you have to, make sure that I'm picking up the right, because they're not, you'd think they're all red or they're all black, but they're not.
Tanks, they're kind of, one's green, one's red.
Right. So, so you gotta, just make real,
if you're not paying attention,
right.
You just pick up the wrong one, you put it in, and you're off and running. It happens all the time.
Did you tell Linda that it happens all the time?
To make her feel better.
Of course. Yeah. Right? Well, I was just going to say, I bet she's feeling terrible.
He's going to let that go for another couple days.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I had no idea that happens all the time. So there you go. Learn something new every day. Love you, Linda.
Mm-hmm.
7:58 here, Big 550 KTR. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Take it away.
McGraw, heavy volume on 270 north from 44, where it's stop and go at times up to Manchester. 55 north is stop and go at Bayless and remains slow until you reach Carondelet. 64 east bogs down at Clarkson and further east from McKnight to Big Bend. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Text line. Did you hear Heidi's story when she put regular gas in her RV? Remember that story from was last summer when Heidi put the regular gas in her RV and she had to go get it all fixed. So, yeah, that was another one. So it happens all the time, even to Heidi. 8 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Stalemate in the Middle East, and ships traveling through the Strait of Hormuz are caught in the middle of it. ABC Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz has more.
Despite the president's repeated threats to reopen the strait, cargo ships and tankers clustered outside the Strait of Hormuz, unable to pass. This morning, Iran saying they have collected and deposited the first toll in the strait and vowed to board more ships. An officer on one tanker tells us they won't move without safety guarantees.
There's also new information out today about Iran's ability to fire on those ships. ABC's Marcus Moore.
Despite repeated assurances from President Trump that Iran's military force has been depleted, the head of the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency says Iran retains thousands of missiles and one-way attack drones that can threaten U.S. and partner forces throughout the region.
Navy Secretary John Phelan fired effective immediately. In an early morning vote, it could lay the foundation for reopening the partial government shutdown. ABC national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has the latest from Washington.
The budget resolution that passed overnight in the Senate sets the table for a package that would end the Homeland Security shutdown, circumventing Democratic objections to funding ICE and the Border Patrol without reforms. The measure passed 50-48, with Republicans Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Rand Paul of Kentucky joining Democrats in voting no. The resolution now heads to the House, where its future is uncertain. Some Republicans in that chamber want this reconciliation package to do more than just fund DHS.
Firefighters throughout the Southeast are battling a widespread wildfire that has destroyed more than 50 homes and led to thousands of evacuations, mainly in Southeast Georgia. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has signed an order reclassifying state-licensed medical marijuana as a less dangerous drug, long sought by advocates who say it should never have been lumped in with drugs like heroin. This is ABC News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-990-1551. That's 800-990-1551.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. Ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
30 years going strong. We are live, local and locally owned. This is the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis.
.64 degrees at 8:03. Here's what's happening now. A man is hospitalized after an officer-involved shooting in Wildwood. Police say this all unfolded last night when officers responded to a domestic situation at a home on Wild Horse Farm Park. When officers arrived, a man was in the front yard holding a weapon. Police say an altercation between officers and the man ended with the man being shot. His injuries are not considered life-threatening. Missouri Republican U.S. Senator Josh Hawley has filed an amendment to the Senate budget resolution to extend the prohibition on federal payments to abortion providers. Congress enacted a one-year ban on federal payments under the Medicaid program to Planned Parenthood and other abortion providers as part of the Big Beautiful Bill Act. That ban expires on July 4th. Senator Hawley plans to force a vote on his amendment during the Senate's upcoming consideration of the budget resolution. Jennings High School reopened to all students today after a pipe burst 4 months ago. Students have been alternating in-person and virtual classes since the school partially reopened in January. The hybrid schedule, with juniors and seniors swapping with freshmen and sophomores to attend in-person every other day, allowed the school's 670 students to fit into the unaffected areas of the building. The St. Louis County Police Department is warning the public to stay alert for scams after more than 20 people showed up at the county courthouse believing they had outstanding traffic tickets. KTRS's David Solomon has more.
The department is issuing the warning after some people received a text message with a photo of a flyer from the traffic division of the Circuit Court of St. Louis County. The flyer claimed that the recipient of the text had an outstanding warrant for toll evasion and directed the recipient to pay outstanding fees in full via a QR code or appear at a court hearing scheduled for 9 a.m. yesterday. The flyer threatened entry of a final judgment, maximum penalties, and driver's license suspensions, among other punishments, if the recipient did not submit payment or show up in court. The department wants to remind people that courts never contact people via phone or text to ask for money and advises anyone who used the QR code to send money to contact their local law enforcement agency. David Solomon, KTRS News.
Governor J.B. Pritzker is launching what he calls the first in the nation incentive to promote environmentally sustainable film and television production. Under the expanded program, productions recognized as a certified green production will be eligible for an additional 5% tax credit. The program makes Illinois the first state to incentivize film and television productions for meeting certain sustainability standards. The launch comes as Illinois' film industry reached a record-breaking high of $703 million in film production expenditures last year. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. This week is Professional Administrators Week. Walter Knoll Florist makes it easy to say thanks with flowers. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 64 degrees. Time now is 8:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
I clearly hit a nerve with this diesel conversation.
Uh-oh.
From the text line. I thought the gas pump nozzles were supposed to stop you from putting the wrong fuel in, like some mechanical lockout. Apparently, that's not true, because Heidi put gas in a diesel engine, and my sister put diesel in a gas engine. So it's...
And you don't think the lawn dogs are just telling you that to placate you, right? Like, they literally were like, it happens all the time.
No, I'm on the AAA website, and they say that, yes... that was a thing at one point, but you have cars that are diesel, and so you've got extensions and neck extenders and neck connectors and everything else, and cars that are diesel that aren't trucks that have different nozzle sizes and everything else. So it's all over the place. Not to mention the newer gas pumps, you have one nozzle. And one nozzle dispenses the diesel or the regular gas depending on what button you push. Some have two nozzles, some have one nozzles. And it's green or yellow or black or red or whatever else. So there's no uniformity to it. And everyone we've talked to in this process who knows what they're talking about says this happens all the time.
So the conspiracy is... gas stations are working with car dealerships and mechanic places to
or spark plug companies
get people to accidentally put the wrong in, so that
spark plug companies.
That's your conspiracy theory.
There you go.
There's your conspiracy theory. When I first got into radio, I did like Conspiracy Theory Tuesday or Wednesday, where people would call up with their conspiracy theory.
And then it got
got so weird.
Yeah.
That segment only lasted like 1 or 2 weeks. And then I was like, this is creepy.
This went down some bad hole.
Yeah, this was not good.
Hey, McGraw, is this your address?
So, yeah, no, my husband is an auto mechanic. It does happen. Not much where he works, but it does happen. Retired owner of 2 repair shops. It absolutely happens often. We had 2 in one day.
Oh, man.
A friend of mine put diesel in his motorcycle. The pump handle colors changes from brand to brand. Speaking of diesel, conspiracy theories, and disappearing people, you should look into the interesting story of Rudolph Diesel. the inventor of diesel engines and his mysterious disappearance.
What?
Mm-hmm. Have you heard of a lot of people chiming in on Heidi's story? Never grab the green nozzle. Green nozzles means it's diesel. Not always true.
Not always anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Lots of people chiming in about Heidi. I remember that. It was last summer.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, was it?
Yeah, she had her RV, and she was on a trip, and she put regular gas in the diesel engine.
They were RVing to see a concert, I think, in
I want to say
Nashville.
Yeah. And they were either coming back or whatever else, and they got on the highway, and 15 minutes later, the thing starts puttering out. And, I think that was a big deal.
And did she have to stay for a couple days to while it got fixed?
I come to think that I do think she was supposed to be back on a Tuesday and got back on a Thursday because you can't leave the RV on the side of the road. You had to go and get it all flushed out and everything else.
God, she has an RV. That's so fun.
Oh yeah, no, she's the RV queen.
Would you ever rent an RV? Have you ever thought about that?
Funny you mentioned that. We were talking about doing that, going up to Bozeman, Montana.
Ooh.
Renting an RV and spending the week at Yellowstone with the little one.
Oh, like flying there and then renting. Right, that is smart, right?
Do you need a CDL?
No, I don't think not to do an RV.
It depends on what RV you get. Maybe you do on some, but you don't need on others. Because there was one time, a couple years ago, I was at a charity event and I won
an RV. Sweet.
An RV, like a weekend RV rental.
Nice.
And I went, and they gave me the RV. I had buddies coming to town. We were going to Mizzou for a football game, and they were like, "Okay, here you go." And I was like, "Do I need a special license for this thing?" They're like, "No, you're good." And I had no idea what I was doing. Should not have been driving. But this thing was a big old RV, and I somehow got it there and back.
Yeah, I don't think, because I don't 1-800-RV or something. I don't think they require. It's basically here you go.
Yeah, I'm sure there are some RVs that actually do need a special license, but
just don't put
not for this Yahoo who was borrowing hey, let me borrow your RV for the weekend. How he survived that weekend, I'll have no idea. We went down to Mizzou, spent the night in the RV in the parking lot, and then woke up and it was game day. It was actually a lot of fun.
So fun.
Oh my goodness, it was a blast.
Right?
Hey, Antonio French is going to join us. Frank Cusimano is going to talk a little sports. We had the Cardinals lost last night. Mets won, first time in 2 weeks. The Mets won.
Right.
Apocalypse.
Frank Cusimano is going to check in there. Also, Jay Lennox from Beck, Lennox, Stolzer, Elder Law. They're going to be in as well. And then, of course, phone calls in the 9 o'clock hour. Let me tell you about Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital right there on Grand and Choteau. All you need to do is drive by. You see the new hospital being built right before our very eyes. You're going to blink your eyes, and they're going to have a ribbon cutting. And when that happens, 21st century healthcare will continue on at a brand new building. It's pretty special that we're able to do this as a community. Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital has been around a long time. It is so well respected around the world. Hospitals come to St. Louis to study what they do at Cardinal Glennon. Patients and families from all over the world come to get treated at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. It is a special place and now going to be solidified as the go-to for the next 21st century because of this new hospital they're building. The official name is SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. We all call it Cardinal Glennon. And to find out more, glennon.org. That's glennon.org.
This is Mariah, third generation at Newsteaders Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsteaders, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
Lori Shoes on Manchester Road in Glendale is celebrating 75 years as a family-owned and operated traditional sit-and-fit shoe store with a dedicated team, including 3 on-staff podorthists. Lori Shoes has an unbelievable selection of thousands of pairs of shoes for men, women, and children with brands like Brooks, Hoka, New Balance, Birkenstock, Keen, and more. Lori's has been a great fit for St. Louis since 1951. Online at lorisshoes.com.
It's the HW Kia Comedy Club.
A lot of people are suffering from gas pains right now. No, not that gas. The kind you get when you pull up to the pump. You look at the price and your wallet says, enough already. I mean, the last time I filled up my car, the pump asked if I wanted to finance it. But the cure for gas pains? HW Kia. You can drive a new 2026 Kia Sportage Hybrid, 43 miles per gallon combined, plus get 0% financing for 48 months and make no payments for 6 months. Credit giving you cramps? Nobody works harder to help get you approved than HW Kia. HW Kia, the cure for gas pains and the best Kia buying experience in the Lou. Manchester Road in the heart of West County, hwkia.com. And remember, Big D wants to see ya in a Kia. Kia finance to well-qualified buyers, 2083 to 1000 finance plus tax, title, license, and admin fee.
Hey, St. Louis, temperatures are rising, and if your AC isn't blowing cold enough, trust the experts at AAA Home Services. For 56 years, they've been fixing it right the first time. Our expert technicians are qualified to work on any system with any issue. We can even perform your annual maintenance on your air conditioner before it gets too hot. And if you need an estimate on a new system, we can do that too. For 56 years, St. Louis has trusted AAA for heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200. Online at AAASTL.com. Call AAA. We're on our way.
Tune in Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for Straight Talkin' Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus for an intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
Meep, meep.
St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, an accident on 270 North at Big Bend has been moved to the shoulder with traffic still backed up to 44. There's a crash on 364 East at 94 with the stop-and-go jam back to Jungerman. In Moscow Mills, we have a crash on 61 South at Highway C with traffic backed up to Troy High School. 64 East bogs down at Clarkson and further east from Clayton Road to McCausland. 64 West is busy from Hampton to McCausland. In Illinois, 255 North is congested from Route 15 to State Street due to construction with 2 lanes closed. And 64 West is running slow from US 50 in O'Fallon, Illinois to near 159. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. Stop by for brunch or happy hour, or have the Rack House cater your next event with box lunches or buffets to accommodate groups of 10 to 200 people. The Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550. KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Couch with your first alert forecast. We're tracking highs towards the mid-80s with mostly sunny skies by the afternoon. A little bit breezier with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Then into Friday, 2 rounds of showers and storms, the first of which going to be during the Ingham commute. Could see some widespread heavy downpours. On top of that, some stronger winds possible. Can't rule out the possibility it's a lower threat of an isolated tornado. That'll continue to push its way through by the afternoon, evening hours. We could see some chances of some isolated strong to severe storms just southeast of St. Louis. That'll push out by the evening hours. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Galmish & Sons Heating and Cooling. Galmish & Sons Heating and Cooling. Do you know that Sean Thornton, longtime employee of Galmish & Sons, that's the son of Larry Thornton, who runs the window store? Yeah, you have a brother in the window business, maybe a brother in the heating and cooling business. That's good to know. By the way, Sean Thornton has worked at Galmish for 41 years. He is part of the furniture. He's part of the family over there at Galmish & Sons. And he stayed there. You don't stay at one place for 41 years unless they let you do your job and do it right. So they're as honest as the day is long. Still run by the same family that opened up the doors 76 years ago. Galmish & Sons with long-term employees, 41 years at Galmish & Sons. He ain't going anywhere either. He's going to work there for, continue to work there for a long time. Good to know because he came out to the house and fixed the air conditioner the other day. 314-993-1110. 314-993-1110. Galmish & Sons for all of your heating and cooling needs. You want to keep it in the St. Louis family. Galmish will come in. They'll fix any make and any model. If you need something new, they'll put in a new Lennox air conditioner or a furnace. But for 76 years, Galmish has been the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Galmish or GalmishandSons.com.
A single flood can cost you nearly $60,000. In the St. Louis region, if it rains where you live, it can flood where you live. MSD Project Clear wants you to know your zone. Knowing your flood zone means you can act early, protect your property, and avoid devastating losses. Don't wait until it's too late. Only flood insurance covers flood damage. Visit knowyourzone.org now.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Looking for a recommendation for a great restaurant? Check out the Piccadilly at Manhattan, one of St. Louis's oldest family-owned and operated restaurants, serving some of the best comfort food in town. Nestled in the Ellendale neighborhood at the corner of Piccadilly and Manhattan, offering world-famous chicken pot pies, meatloaf, fried chicken, pot roast, and great fish options for Lent, all in a cozy neighborhood atmosphere with a great little bar and beautiful patio. The Piccadilly at Manhattan, online at thepiccadilly.com.
Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Dan Lang with Carter Pet Hospital, inviting you to join me every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. with the Animal Advice Show. We'll talk about everything regarding dogs, cats, and other domestic animals. We'll discuss nutrition, training, regular checkups, invite special guests, and of course, answer your questions. Join us every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. for the Animal Advice Show on the Big 550 KTRS, the Animal Talk of St. Louis.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
This Def Leppard?
Yes! No,
I was
it's
a rocker. I was a rocker in the
Speedwagon.
80s. 821 here, Big 550 KTRS. That's a good song. All right, but we got to check in with Antonio French. Antonio French, St. Louis Post-Dispatch columnist. Good morning, Antonio. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning.
We read with quite a bit of interest in your newspaper this morning about the ex-Velda chief, Velda City chief, who's now working for the Hillsdale Police, as he's going to be sentenced today after stealing $300,000 from taxpayers in Velda City. That is some story they got going on there.
Hey, one department's trash is another department's treasure, I guess. I don't know. That's it is curious, man. You would think that would be a disqualifying factor in being hired by another police department, but apparently the standards aren't that high.
That got us talking about the North County Cooperative, and a lot of people in the audience text in, and a lot of people don't understand what that North County Cooperative actually does. And these towns, right, because of Ferguson, you know this better than anybody, right? Because of Ferguson, they sort of changed some of the rules. These police departments have a hard time funding themselves, so they pooled other resources. Talk about that North County Cooperative for a second.
Well, you're right that the situation in Ferguson kind of brought this to light. But the facts are just that these departments couldn't sustain themselves without doing shady stuff, that the tax base just wasn't there, and that ultimately, every small town in St. Louis County doesn't need its own police department. It doesn't make much sense. It's not smart for the taxpayers. It doesn't lead to good service, and it winds up leading to all kinds of problems. And so the solution was that, St. Louis County, a lot of these different municipalities were going to join together. And instead of having their individual police departments, we're all going to, put money into a pool to have, as they say, a cooperative of policing for all these smaller places. It's had mixed results, I guess. Obviously it saves some taxpayers money. A lot of these things were going to collapse anyway on themselves just from the weight. And so, a year into it, though, a few years into it, you still have some of these issues coming up, and it still doesn't seem to be quite fulfilling everybody's expectations.
I don't know why they wouldn't just join St. Louis County Police Department. Why do they want to create their own cooperative when they could just sort of join St. Louis County Police?
That's a good question. I think there's always this desire to have like policing as close as possible to the community and really some political influence. And for these smaller North County municipalities, St. Louis County was patrolling who would the mayor call when they wanted something to happen, or who would they want that kind of more local, smaller municipality kind of feel. As far as professionalism, though, it would clearly be better to have St. Louis County do it.
How does like New York City do it, right? Brooklyn, they still have cats and trees in Brooklyn, and Brooklyn's been able to call New York's finest and get it. Brooklyn doesn't need their own, and I don't understand where this comes from, that they don't feel like the police, if you join St. Louis County Police, they won't be there for you. Is that the reputation of St. Louis County Police?
Well, I think it's the reputation of policing a lot of times in the St. Louis area, is because typically these departments are stretched so thin that either the squeakiest wheel gets the oil or the most well-connected communities get the oil, and the poorer communities usually don't get the same kind of policing. At least that's how they feel. But the other reality is that once you have had your own police department and had that kind of power, a lot of folks just don't want to give it up. And so, the further away it gets from the local little tiny city hall, whatever it may be, sometimes it's actually like a little house out there at the city hall. The further away it gets from it, the less political power. And so they resist that. But eventually, I think that's where we're going to go.
Well, the Hillsdale Police Department, one could argue, probably not the smartest move to hire the former Velda City Police Chief, who's been indicted and is going to jail, but they were able to hire him for administrative duties. I'm not so sure that's a better alternative than just turning over your police department to St. Louis County.
No, you're right, and it's just one of those. It's just kind of it's kind of how things had been done out there already. This is what this was supposed to be solving, is that these departments are so small, their standards are low. Typically, they were hiring officers that were fired from other departments anyway. A lot of times, an officer in St. Louis City who went through the training, police academy and everything, gets into some trouble, loses their job, they could always find work out in one of those small municipalities. And again, that is not the high standards that probably those local citizens want.
Yeah, and the Velda City Police Chief got a job with the Hillsdale Police while he's awaiting sentencing. It's some wild story you guys got at stltoday.com. I recommend everybody reading it. Antonio French, have yourself a good day. Have yourself a good week. We'll check in with you next week. Thanks, man.
Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
You got it. Antonio French with us every Tuesday and every 30. It is a wild, wild story. The police chief in Velda City, former administrator and police chief, was charged with wire fraud and theft, stole more than $300,000 in taxpayer money. He used it for all sorts of things, including pool supplies and food and home improvements and all those types of things. He pled guilty. He's waiting sentencing, which apparently is today. But while he was waiting sentencing, he was working for the Hillsdale Police Department.
If the judge goes easy on the sentence, right, based on the letters that were written.
Well, it's funny because the judge is the police chief in Pine Lawn. Yes. I'm kidding. But it only works. It only works because it happens. It happens. It happens.
I know.
Remember Anthony Gray? I tell this story often because people just don't believe me. I've told the story outside of St. Louis. They don't believe me. I tell it in St. Louis. They're like, no, wait, really? But Anthony Gray was the attorney for Michael Brown's family. Went on Meet the Press on Sunday when was the spokesperson for the Michael Brown family during the whole Ferguson debacle, and was out there railing on police and the lack of police and the lack of professionalism, and was defending Michael Brown's family. And do you know what Anthony Gray's job was? Police chief of Pine Lawn. He was the next town over's police chief, while going on national television complaining about how bad the police are in St. Louis. And he was a police chief. I tell this to people, and they don't believe me. And I tell them, I don't know what to tell you. They're like, clearly, that's fake. I'm like, no, that's actually true. And I had a conversation with the Meet the Press producers, and they didn't believe me. They said, it says here he's a public information officer. I'm like, that's what they call the police chief in Pine Lawn. They didn't believe me. They couldn't believe it.
Because it's unbelievable.
Because it's unbelievable, but it's actually happening. 8:30, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Good morning, Captain Paul.
Good morning, McGraw. There's a multi-car crash on 364 East at 94, blocking the two right lanes with the stop-and-go jam back to Jungerman. An accident on 270 North at Big Bend has been cleared, with traffic still slow back to 44. 270 North is also heavy from Doherty Ferry to Manchester. In Moscow Mills, we have a crash on 61 South at Highway C, with traffic backed up to Troy High School. 64 East is heavy around Clarkson and from Lindbergh all the way to McCausland. 64 West is busy from Hampton to McCausland. 55 North crowded and slow at Bayless. In Illinois, 255 North is congested from Route 15 to State Street due to construction with 2 lanes closed. And 64 West is running slow from US 50 in O'Fallon, Illinois to near 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
In Fenton, from the Country Club Car Wash text line, in Fenton, our police say Fenton police member of St. Louis County Police Force. How does that work? I just checked. Fenton, hold on to your hats, people in Fenton. You do not have your own police department. Fenton contracts through St. Louis County Police Department, in which they operate the Fenton Precinct 5th District. So there you go. Might say Fenton Police on the car, but it's a St. Louis County Police that has their Fenton Bureau or their Fenton substation or precinct or whatever.
So I know the Jennings ones, they have St. Louis County cars, but they say Jennings underneath that in red.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the car dedicated to that area or whatever it is.
Probably what they have in Fenton.
Yeah.
It looks like a St. Louis County police car.
Because people feel better when the name Fenton's on the police car that's pulling you over for a ticket or something.
But money's all going
it's not St. Louis County. Well, it is, but it says Fenton on the car. All right, that's good enough. I'll accept that. If it just says Fenton on the car, then I can help you. 8:32 here. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
The European Union has approved a massive loan package to help Ukraine meet its economic and military needs for the next 2 years. This decision comes after Hungary lifted its veto. A new study suggests that the comet that rambled past us from another star last year likely originated in a cold, isolated corner of the galaxy that had yet to gel into its own solar system. Astronomers report that the comet 3I Atlas is only the 3rd interstellar visitor to be confirmed and quite possibly the oldest. In local headlines, a South St. Louis smoke shop is shutting down in wake of a lawsuit. Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway announced yesterday that Pressure STL has agreed to immediately cease operations and destroy its inventory. And Mercy is once again being recognized. Newsweek has ranked Mercy among America's best maternity hospitals in 2026. Mercy has more birthplaces on the list than any other healthcare system in the state it serves. including Mercy Hospital St. Louis and Mercy Hospital Jefferson locally. 68 degrees. Time now is 8:33. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Hey, what are you doing Saturday? Saturday, April 25th. Today's the 23rd. Say the 24th, and the next day is the 25th. Saturday, April 25th. It's officially Ted Drew's Day, declared by the city of St. Louis. What does that mean? Well, that means every day is really Ted Drew's Day, but Saturday is the official Ted Drew's Day. There's no better way to celebrate Ted Drew's than listen to this. They're going back old school for one day, April 25th, this Saturday. You can go get a cone, or I should say a cup, for 97 cents. For one day, they're serving up 97-cent cones. Even better, you can grab a single scoop sundae for just $1.97, served in the Cardinal home ball cap. Now, they have all different teams, so you can pick any team you want. It's actually kind of fun. Collect all of them, or get a Cardinal little baseball cap with Ted Drew's frozen custard in it. $1.97 to celebrate Ted Drew's Day. That's a pretty sweet little deal. It's all day Saturday. Don't miss the 97-cent cones and the $1.97 sundaes while they last. And while you're there, do yourself a favor. Walk down memory lane when you go into the Hall of Fame and gift shop. It really is a museum, Hall of Fame, gift shop. It's right there. It's connected to the parking lot. You don't have to cross over Chippewa. It's just all right there. And it's fun to go look at all the old advertisements and pictures, and it sure is a walk down memory lane. Do yourself a favor. Ted Drew's. Any day is Ted Drew's Day, but especially this Saturday, April 25th, official Ted Drew's Day. Go and see for yourself. Ted, and you can also get a McGraw concrete too. Don't forget about that. Way better than the Charlie Brennan concrete. That's for sure. April 25th, the official Ted Drew's Day. Ted Drew's. It really is great, guys and gals. Ted Drew's.
Sunday, April 26th is packed with fun. When the Cardinals welcome the Seattle Mariners, you can score a classic chain-stitch Cardinals hat presented by Coca-Cola. Plus, kids 12 and under receive a Fredbird Hall of Fame ring presented by the Pasta House Company. And get the chance to run the bases after the game. Giveaways, post-game fun, and Cardinals baseball all in one big Sunday showdown. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Matthew Liberatore. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com.
Every Sunday home game is a Kids Sunday at Busch Stadium. From Team Fredbird and games to a kid-friendly DJ, ice cream, and family favorite activities. Sundays are built for young fans. Plus, select Sundays feature kids run the bases after the game. It's a day made for smiles, memories, and Cardinals baseball together. Make Sundays your family tradition at Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/KidsSunday.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Bope Chapel in Kirkwood has been providing compassionate and professional funeral and cremation services to the St. Louis community for over 114 years. Bope Chapel continues to strive to bring you, their friends, families, and neighbors, the best in comfort and support. Whether it's large services with state-of-the-art technology or small gatherings, the kind and caring family at Bope Chapel will help care for your family in your time of need. For more information, go to bopechapel.com.
Invest in your future today at Royal Banks of Missouri. With a variety of personal savings, money market, and certificate of deposit account options, their team will guide you to reach your short and long-term financial goals. They also offer individual retirement accounts to help you plan for your life's next chapter. Call 314-212-1500 or visit a branch to find the right account for you and watch your savings grow. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
It's Julie Buck here to tell you that the patio is open at Bishop's Post right next to Chesterfield Mall. Get your reservations in now and go to Bishop's Post. You will love it. Tell them Julie Buck sent you, bishopspost.com.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS. It's now time for the Press Box with Frank Cusimano on the McGraw-Millhaven Show on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's talk to
Walter No Florist. We know flowers.
Sorry, Walter. Yes, he does know flowers. I don't know my cue. 8:39 here, Big 550 KTRS. Frank Cusimano from Channel 5 Sports. Good morning, Frank. Frank, are you there?
Good to be with you, sir.
There
How are you?
Good. I should say Channel 5 Sports and the Big 550 KTRS. NFL draft is today. A couple of St. Louisans. Who are you looking for today to get drafted out of St. Louis?
Well, it's interesting, McGraw, because there are a lot of football guys, draftniks, who just do this for a living 24/7, 12 months a year, and they say that the best football player in this draft is Jeremiah Love, the pride of CBC High School. And he's so good that the Chiefs knew at 10 he wasn't going to be there, so they had to go out and get a veteran running back. And this Love kid is just insane. We had his father on the radio yesterday, but he is like flawless. He catches the ball, he blocks, he's an unbelievable runner, his breakaway speed, and he could go as high as number 3 in the NFL draft. And a lot of people think, oh, big deal. People go 3 all the time. No, running backs don't go early anymore. That's just a fact of life. And Austin Genty did go 6 last year, but this is going to be a special player, and it looks like he's going to head to Arizona with the 3rd pick in the draft.
Yeah, you've followed this guy throughout his career. It sounds like he's a really nice gentleman and has grown up to be a fine young man.
Yeah, his dad told us yesterday, we knew he was special, but we never envisioned this. So it's really a cool thing, you know, for the family, for the CBC community. He was talking about the family was at the barber shop where they hang out a lot yesterday, and now they're in Pittsburgh for one of the, well, maybe the most special night of his career unless he wins a Super Bowl.
One of the great untold stories is how the NFL has devalued running backs in the draft, right? The Tony Dorsetts of the world, the Emmitt Smiths of the world, they were always the top picks, but now the NFL has sort of de-emphasized running backs.
Yeah, and you know, McGraw, it's interesting because there's a St. Louis flair to what you just said. Like Ezekiel Elliott had a really fine career. The pride of John Burroughs, played with the Dallas Cowboys. But Jerry Jones, in the middle of his career, gave him this ridiculous contract. And it's almost like it scarred everybody from giving big long-term contracts to running backs and even to drafting them a little bit earlier, because you can find running backs all the time, not elite ones like Jeremiah Love, but that's kind of when the devaluation, if that's a word, of running backs began on that Ezekiel Elliott contract.
Yeah. The Cardinals lost last night to the Marlins. You're not happy with the lineup?
No, you know what, McGraw, you would remember this. In the old days, La Russa used to have that getaway lineup. You know, he'd play on a Sunday. He'd think, what the heck? Why is he not playing the starters? Right. Well, we had a lineup yesterday, the Cardinals did, that they didn't have a starter that was hitting over 237. I mean, that was a lame lineup. That's because, you know, this lineup is questionable to begin with. You only have 4 or 5 hitters. Like when La Russa did it, when he'd have his Sunday lineup or his getaway lineup, he'd have Spezio or Mabry or Felipe Lopez or Daniel Descalso. He had players. I mean, you have a questionable starting lineup to begin with in terms of hitters, and then you go to the Getaway lineup, boy, you don't have much of a chance to win. And yesterday, I believe they only had 4 hits in a kind of a dismal 4-1 loss.
You know, it's a good point. The NBA does that too, right? They sit the players to get them ready for the playoffs, but someone's paying $300 to sit to go see LeBron play, and he's not playing. But you got to rest these guys from time to time. And do you want to rest some of them some of the time, or just take a flyer and send out a secondary lineup and sort of hope for the best once a week?
Yeah, I'm not arguing with the premise. I think it's a good idea. I'm just saying it's a whole different story when Ali Marmol trots out his Sunday lineup than the way Tony La Russa did.
All right, fair enough. Hey, what's going on with the soccer team?
Well, it's 1 win. It is 4 losses, and it's 3 ties. And they've been outscored like 13-6 or 13-7. So a lot of people would think, well, nothing has changed in 3 years. They've been bad for 2 years. They're going to be bad for 3 years. That may be true, but I will say this, and I talked to Mr. Soccer, Bill McDermott, about it the other day. He just said they are playing a more attacking style. Like last year, they wanted to play every game 0-0. They had more ties than Sam Cavato. It was ridiculous. Now they're playing a little bit more of an attacking style, and I think they're getting better. We'll see what happens.
What's the story about the player down in Miami who wants to stay in college as opposed to go pro because he's making more money in college?
It's a fascinating story, and it gives you an idea of how NIL is just changing everything. So Thomas Houck is a power forward / center for the University of Florida. If he went in the NBA draft, McGraw, he would go about 15. And that would be, in 2 years with that contract, he'd make just under $8 million. He's going back to Florida, and the story is from insiders that he is going to make as much in 1 year at Florida than he would at 2 years in the NBA. And he has a chance to win a national championship. I mean, it's crazy. He'd be like the 3rd or 4th highest paid player in the history of college basketball. I mean, Cooper Flagg is up there, DeBonsa from BYU, maybe Boozer at Duke. But that is just crazy. And it's happening. You know, Braylon Mullins, the kid at UConn, he could have gone to the NBA, but he's going to make more money at UConn this season.
I mean, if you extrapolate this is just the beginning. If there's no salary cap and no rules to college sports, at some ways the NCAA is going to become a competitive league to the NBA or the NFL.
You're right, especially, you know, if you're not going to be like a top 10 pick, if you're going to be like 15 on, yeah, it makes sense probably to stay in college basketball. It's absolutely crazy.
I mean, a Notre Dame alum could give Jeremiah Love, $10 million to stay another year, and he'd just stay at Notre Dame for another year as opposed to going to the NFL.
Yeah. Oh, there's countless examples of like 24 and 25-year-old quarterbacks who may be a third-string quarterback at the NFL and maybe on the taxi squad saying, no, I'm definitely going to stay at the University of Georgia and make $5 million.
Frank Cusimano, who's the restaurant today?
The restaurant is Twisted Tree. And, boy, you talk about a great steakhouse. Everything the Cyberg family touches turns to gold.
Yeah. Hey, that pizza place last week was fantastic, by the way.
Oh, that was good. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's Frank Cusimano coming up at 10 with Joe Farmer. Frank, thanks for checking in, my friend.
All right, buddy. Take care.
You got Twisted Tree is good, too. That pizza last week, they said it was Detroit style. It was more like deep dish New York style, like a Sicilian.
I think it's the sauce that makes it Detroit.
Well, it was
and the squareness.
Yeah, it was this when we were growing up and we would go to Lupino's, you get a slice or a Sicilian, which was like a deep dish square. And that Sicilian was pretty good, if you do say so myself. All right, that's 8:47 here, Big 550, KTRS. Captain Paul, St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Take it away.
McGraw, there's a vehicle fire on 170 South at Olive blocking the 2 right lanes after 170 was closed there for about 15 minutes. It's causing a bumper-to-bumper jam back to St. Charles Rock Road. Estimated clearance time is 9:15. 270 north is heavy from Big Bend to 64. In Moscow Mills, we have a crash on 61 south at Highway C with traffic backed up to Troy High School. 64 east is heavy from Clayton Road to McCausland. There's a stalled vehicle on 64 east before Hampton in the right lane. 64 west is busy from Hampton to McCausland. And in Illinois, 255 north is congested from Route 15 to State Street due to construction with 2 lanes closed. This traffic report is brought to you by Aldon Heating and Cooling. Persistent St. Louis heat is on the way. Now's the time to take advantage of Aldon's $79 AC check. Book your appointment now as spaces are filling up fast. And for more information on a state-of-the-art Daikin Fit system, visit al-don.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Gotch with your first alert forecast. We're tracking highs towards mid-80s, mostly sunny skies, breezy conditions this afternoon with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Then into Friday morning, seeing a long line of showers and storms. Could see some heavier winds, some heavier downpours associated with that. And on top of that, we're going to be tracking a possibility of some more chances of showers and storms just southeast of St. Louis as we head towards the afternoon and early evening hours before clearing, revealing a dry and partly sunny Saturday with highs towards the mid-70s. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Okay, the controversy continues here at the Big 550 KTRS. From the Country Club Car Wash text line, people are still yelling at me on the text line saying that you can't put regular gas in a diesel vehicle because of the nozzle. Okay, I just text Heidi. Heidi just texted me back. Heidi, did you put gas in a diesel engine or diesel gas in a regular gas engine? And she writes back, gas in a diesel engine. So you can. So Heidi put gas in a diesel engine and had all sorts of trouble. My sister put diesel in a gas engine and had all sorts of trouble. So again, what Johnny Londoff told me is true. When you go to a traditional regular gas station, the nozzle will not save you because they make the nozzle small enough to fit into car diesel engines like a Mercedes or whatever else. So stop yelling at me because I have no control over this. But it may be at some places, truck stops, where the nozzle won't fit into the wrong gas tank. But Heidi did it last year. My sister did it 2 days ago. So stop yelling at me. 850 here, Big 550 KTRS. Now, look, if you like it, put a ring on it. That's all I'm saying. Lordo's is where you go to get the diamond ring. Earrings, necklaces, bracelets, you name it. Look, a family jeweler is most important because a family jeweler will stand the test of time. They've been doing this for 70-plus years. So love the story when the grandmother went into Lordo's, and now the grandkids are going into Lordo's. One-of-a-kind rings, whether it's something for the spring graduation season or bar mitzvahs or confirmations, and right, all of those are special little things that will stand the test of time, that mark the time from family members to everybody else. And so Lordo's is where you go to get it. And if you want it fixed or repurposed or strengthened or tightened up, Lordo's is where you go. Clayton Road in the heart of Ladue, 314-432-8008. You're not going to go to the big box stores. You're not going to get a ring on Amazon. What are you kidding me? You're going to go to a family jeweler you can trust, and that's Lordo's. LordosDiamonds.com.
Hi, Richard West with Overstock Outlet. Visit us at Overstock Outlet. We're the best random store around where you never know what we'll have. We stock shelves daily with name brand products from major box stores. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest inventory.
2 locations, 8621 Highway N in Lake St. Louis at Lake St. Louis Boulevard and Highway N, and 604 East Boonslick in Warrenton in the Old Kroger. Open daily. Check out their Facebook pages, Overstock Outlet Lake St. Louis, Overstock Outlet Warrenton, and Overstock Outlet Auctions.
And remember, Overstock Outlet, where you never know what we'll have.
This is Mike Hackett from Hackett Security, a proud, locally owned and operated business serving St. Louis since 1977. From one great local company to another, congratulations on 30 years, KTRS. Here's to many more.
Now back to McGraw, presented by London Chevrolet, the London Autoplex, and London.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right. When you don't know where to turn, you turn to BeckElderLaw.com. Jay Lennox joins us to talk. Good morning, Jay. Welcome back.
Thanks, McGraw. Glad to be here.
Let's get right to it. The downside of going through probate. Everybody wants to avoid probate, but it seems like everybody does whatever they can to get themselves into probate.
Yes, and what probate is, a lot of people don't know this. When somebody dies and property is titled in one person's name alone, and you haven't done a trust or pay on death or a beneficiary deed on your house, those assets have to go to probate. And it's a judge declaring how your property is going to pass.
It's also not very private, is it?
No, and it's you're laying your cards out after you're gone for the whole world to see.
So, I mean, everybody, it's open to the public for the whole world to see all of your dirty laundry.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody can see, and it's expensive.
Yeah.
And McGraw, I've been doing this for 35 years, and I tell people, if your sole asset's $200,000 to go to probate, the probate fee is $12,000. Assets are $500,000, the probate fee is $28,000. Million, $56,000.
Wow.
And half of that is attorney's fees.
Wow. That's in terms of privacy. What about timing? We hear that once you're in probate, it's almost like you never get out.
Yes, but it's because the estate has to be open a minimum amount of time to allow creditors and other people to come in and seek money against that estate. So I always tell people it's generally 1 to 2 years.
Wow. People think that if you fill out a will, you avoid probate, but that's the opposite, it seems like.
McGraw, that is 100% correct. A will is a one-way ticket to probate. And, people say, I don't need a trust because I have a will. And it doesn't matter.
What a misnomer, right? I mean, that's really all right. So, how do you avoid probate? What do you do?
There are ways that we recommend, which would be a revocable living trust. You title your property in the name of the trust, and it keeps everything out of probate. In that package, it includes a deed to put your house into the trust, financial powers of attorney, healthcare powers of attorney, and the trust. And a pour-over will. Everybody still needs a pour-over will as a catch-all if something would go to probate. But the pour-over will says the beneficiary is your trust.
Right.
So then your trust takes over. And all that can be done for under $4,000.
And then also, too, like what you've set up, trusts for me and Emerson and all that, as things change, I just go back to you guys and then change it accordingly, right? That's all part of the deal.
Yes, that is all part of the deal.
Yeah.
And then I have other people tell me, Jay, I don't need a trust because we have everything pay on death and transfer on death, and we have a beneficiary deed on our house, so we don't need that. And we never know what the future is going to bring with Alzheimer's, strokes. We just never know.
Right.
And this happened to me 20 years ago. The people did not want a trust, husband and wife. Second marriage, they each had 2 kids. And they said, it's no problem because we have everything pay on death, transfer on death. And he passed away in December. She passed away in January. So all his property was going to her, but she passed away before she could take possession of it. Everything had to go to probate. And then I had that just happen again a month ago. We did not do their estate planning. Exact same circumstances. Husband passed away in December, wife in January. And everything has to go to probate.
Oh, my goodness. It's as simple as calling you guys up and having a meeting.
Yes, absolutely. All of our consultations are free. If we can help you, we will show you our fee schedule, quote you a price, and you can either say yay or nay. It's really as simple as that.
It's also, too, with mom and dad going into nursing homes and retirement communities and all that, right? There's all sorts of things that you have to figure out.
Absolutely. There are ways to protect assets. So you don't have to go broke in a nursing home or in assisted living.
Yeah. You guys have been doing this 50-plus years?
50-plus years. I've only been doing it 35.
You don't look a day over 20, so I don't know how that happens. But it's as simple as that. BeckElderLaw.com. BeckElderLaw.com. Jay Lennox right here talking about one of the trio there that makes sure everything, the well-respected and trusted team of BeckElderLaw.com. The phone number?
is 636-946-7899.
Or BeckElderLaw.com. You guys saved me, came right down from heaven and landed right on my desk out there and saved me and the family a whole lot of time, aggravation. Everyone's still talking to each other, which we weren't talking with each other before. And now we're still talking to each other. So God love you. Jay, thanks for coming in. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Go Mizzou, right? M-I-Z?
Z-O-U.
There you go. All right. 8:58 here, Big 550 KTRS. I'm a Husker fan. I can't believe I just said that. St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Here's Scott and Paul.
McGraw, a vehicle fire on 170 South at Olive is blocking the two right lanes and causing a bumper-to-bumper jam back to Natural Bridge. The estimated clearance time is 9:15. 270 North is still heavy from Doherty Ferry to 64. In Moscow Mills, we are still dealing with a crash on 61 South at Highway C with traffic backed up to Troy High School. There's a stalled vehicle on 64 East before Hampton, causing a backup to McKnight. And in Illinois, 255 North is congested from Route 3 to State Street due to construction with 2 lanes closed. From the KTRS St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Home equity loans are home everything loans at Neighbors Credit Union. Home improvements, vacations, education, even debt consolidation. Anything and everything you have planned can be made easier with my friends at Neighbors Credit Union. With the flexibility of a home equity line of credit at Neighbors Credit Union, you can enjoy a great introductory rate for the first 12 months. The possibilities are endless. Stop by one of the 8 area locations or apply online at neighborscu.org.
Equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 509288. Call 800-325-2697 for complete account and cost details.
It's springtime, so make some spring cleaning and clear out some room for Dogtown. Dogtown Pizza, of course. Take those freezers and deep freezes and stock them full of Dogtown Pizza. With plenty of sports and warm weather action coming up, you'll want to make sure you always have an emergency pizza on hand. And with 12 different varieties, you're going to need to make plenty of room. Bacon, 4 meat, and the veggie. Clean out those freezers to make plenty of room for all the Dogtown varieties. And to see a full list, check out dogtownpizza.com.
This has been the talk of St. Louis for 30 years, and we aren't stopping now. We are the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis. Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump says he has ordered the U.S. military to shoot and kill small boats that deploy mines in the Strait of Hormuz. The post on social media comes as the U.S. military seizes other tankers believed to have been smuggled Iranian oil. So far, no talks have been planned, but the White House says the ceasefire will remain open-ended. ABC's Ian Pannell with more from the region.
I think what we're seeing from the regime, it feels emboldened by this indefinite extension. It feels it can just wait out President Trump while the damage ramps up to the world economy. And if you look historically, it's managed to sustain the economic impact of severe sanctions for many years, and is likely to do so once again.
The Secretary of the Navy, John Phelan, fired without explanation by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Here's ABC's Martha Raddatz.
Phelan is a civilian political appointee, but there had been clashes with Hegseth in recent months. Hegseth's latest unexplained firing of a top Pentagon official comes as thousands of Navy personnel are blocking the Strait of Hormuz in a standoff with Iran now firing on 3 commercial ships and seizing 2, trying to transit the waterway.
Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has reclassified weed as a less dangerous drug.
The acting Attorney General says his move would immediately reschedule state-licensed and FDA-approved medical marijuana from Schedule 1, in the same class as heroin, to Schedule 3. Todd Blanche's order would pave the way for significant tax breaks for the distributors of medical marijuana and ease restrictions on federal research of cannabis. The drug remains illegal under federal statutes, but the administration says it vows to expand patients' access to it as a treatment.
ABC National Correspondent Stephen Portnoy. 2 trains with 38 people aboard, both colliding in Denmark today. 5 people were critically injured in the accident north of Copenhagen. You're listening to ABC News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
"46-year-old Dr. Jonathan Wayne Morris was arrested yesterday after being indicted with 15 counts of illegally prescribing controlled substances and 23 counts of healthcare fraud. Morris has owned Columbia Urgent Care since 2019. From 2019 to 2025, he allegedly caused Medicare and Medicaid to be billed for services provided by him when they were actually performed by assistant physicians who were supposed to be operating under his direct supervision. The indictment also accuses Morris of issuing controlled substance prescriptions outside of the usual course of professional practice to friends, associates, people with substance use disorders, and those with whom he had sexual relationships. David Solomon, KTRS News.
Thank you, Jill. The markets are down. The Dow is down 157 points. The S&P is down 12 points, and the NASDAQ is down 109 points. And now it's time for traffic with Captain Paul.
And Carl, it looks like they've cleared a vehicle fire on 170 South at Olive, but there is a residual slowdown. 270 North is heavy from Doherty Ferry, 264. In Moscow Mills, we are still dealing with a crash on 61 South at Highway C with traffic backed up to Troy High School. There's a stalled vehicle on 64 East before Hampton, causing a stop and go back up to McKnight. And in Illinois, 255 North is running slow from Route 15 to State Street due to construction with 2 lanes closed. This traffic report is brought to you by Brown & Brown Attorneys at Law. Have you been hurt in a crash or on the job? Call Brown & Brown now for a free consultation. 314-333-3333. That's 314-all-threes. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. It is now 68 degrees at the Big 550 KTRS.
Soar with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra in Rachmaninoff's Third, Taking Flight. Assistant conductor Samuel Hollister and pianist Gabriela Montero make their SLSO classical subscription debut in Prokofiev's thrilling Third Piano Concerto. Enjoy Gabriela Smith's sky-inspired Tumblebird contrails and the sweeping, passionate grandeur of Rachmaninoff's Third Symphony, a breathtaking musical journey. April 24th and 25th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
Hello, everybody. This is Bob Hardcastle. And on behalf of Midwest Money, the oldest coin company west of the Mississippi, cutest funeral home, over 100 years serving St. Louis, Kathy Shaw with Tom Shaw Real Estate, and Miller & Roberts Attorneys at Law, we want to congratulate the Big 550 KTRS on their successful 30 great years. I'm Bob Hardcastle.
Hey, JJ Weatherhole here. From the stands, people see the highlights. Home runs, stolen bases, diving catches. What they don't see is the preparation to be ready for the unexpected. That's how I look at my car too. Repairs can hit out of nowhere, and they're not cheap. With CarShield, you get the best defense against costly repairs. When something goes wrong, you're not scrambling. You've got a plan. A CarShield plan.
Don't get caught looking. Get a free quote today at carshield.com. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Don't miss Straight Talk on Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Join this dynamic father-daughter duo every Saturday morning for an entertaining and intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing. From decades of financial planning expertise combined with a deep knowledge of healthcare benefits, Aaron and Jeff will give you the Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hi, it's Jill Farmer, and April is Donate Life Month. KTRS is a proud partner with Mid-America Transplant. You may have questions about organ donation. I sure did. Like, will doctors do everything they can to still save my life? Yes. Your medical team's job is always to save you. Donation is only considered after every life-saving effort has failed. Or you might wonder, like I did, am I too old or unhealthy to be a donor? Not at all. People in their 80s or 90s, or even those with some medical conditions, may be able to donate. Here in our region, more than 1,400 people are waiting for a life-saving transplant. Nationwide, it's more than 100,000. One donor can save 8 lives and help heal dozens more. Registering takes just 2 minutes, and it gives hope to people who don't have time to wait. I did it. Learn the facts, talk to your family, and sign up today at sayyesgivelife.org. That's sayyesgivelife.org.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis. This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
Boy, this diesel truck, diesel gas in a car, gas in a diesel engine has taken off on its own. Welcome back, everybody. 314-931-5877. 314-931-5877. Text your pithy and interesting comments to 84126. Chat GPT. Can diesel go into a gas car? Yes, at auto stations. Physically possible. No, at truck stops. Usually no. Which is what I said 2 hours ago after talking to Jimmy Saffo. So there you go. Lots of people calling up about questions about beneficiary deeds, medical devices, power of attorney, IRAs, TODs. Look, call Beck Elder Law, BeckElderLaw.com. Give them a call. They can answer all of those questions for you. It's a free consultation. So call them, get them set up to you, and get them going. So there you go. A station employee installed the wrong nozzle on a pump. Due to the drive-off breaking the nozzle, the person may not be aware of the nozzle color code. Oh, that could happen. You know, I'll tell you this. I've done that where I've left the gas nozzle in the gas tank.
Same.
Driven away, and the quick connect pulled the nozzle out of the pump. That's embarrassing.
And you don't know what to do. Because you're like, do I need to give this back to them, or do I?
Hi, I just pulled the nozzle out of its pump. Here you go.
Do you bring it inside?
I don't know what you do. I went inside, and the guy, I know exactly where it was. I was on Kings Highway in Vandeventer. There's now a right across the street from. It was the bank, right? It was there was a bank there.
It was a filling station. Now it is a car wash.
That is correct. Yes, and. I did it there, and I walked in. I was like, hey, I just pulled the nozzle out of the tank. The guy goes, get in your car and get out of here. I was like, okay. So I got in the car and got out of there. So that, I mean, but they insinuated that happens all the time, too.
Which is why they made the quick release.
Which is why they make the quick connect so that it doesn't spill the gas all over. So all these safety features, you had no idea because people are idiots. And they drive off with the nozzle still in the gas tank. 314-931-5877. 314-931-5877. Text your comments, pithy and otherwise, to 84126. Do you remember TARP, the Troubled Asset Relief Program? Remember that TARP program?
Was that an Obama thing?
No, that was a George W. Bush thing. That was when the downturn at the end of the Bush administration, where the banks started to collapse and there was a run on the banks, and they created TARP. It was a $700 billion program that ultimately, oddly enough, they made money on because they took a financial stake in many of the companies that they bailed out, whether it was AIG, whether it was Citibank, Goldman Sachs, right? That's the famous line where the Treasury Secretary, Hank Paulson, calls up Warren Buffett and says, how do I protect the economy when some businesses are going to take the money, but not all, right? Some banks are going to take the money. But I think it was Wells Fargo that didn't need the money and didn't want to take it. And so you're going to signal that these banks are in trouble and these banks aren't. And Warren Buffett said, make all the banks take the money. So they gave all the banks all the money in the TARP program, right? The Troubled Asset Relief Program. And this was so controversial at the time that this helped rise up the Tea Party. They were incensed. All these conservatives were incensed that these banks, right, they are the ones who were playing fast and loose. They should suffer the consequences. Why should the taxpayers have to bail out these banks? And then you had the bonuses with the bankers, and everybody got upset with the women. Why are you handing out bonuses if you're failing and you need a bailout? Right, all that controversy. Remember all that stuff? Oh my goodness! And then Obama came in and. Right, they were trying to sing the praises of the TARP and everything. That was the rise of the Tea Party. Remember that? Oh, my goodness. It was big controversy. Bailouts are terrible. Why are we bailing out the rich guys? Let the businesses... Now the Trump administration is talking about bailing out Spirit Airlines for $500 million. Now, it's not $700 billion. It's $500 million. But still, he wants to do exactly what TARP did. He wants to bail them out, $500 million, and then take some equity in the company, which is exactly what they did with TARP, which TARP was considered such a terrible idea. So go figure. Careful how you argue, because in 2 weeks you're going to be arguing the exact opposite. 314-931-5877. 314-931-5877. Text your comments to 84126. Norma is on line one. Norma, good morning. Welcome to KTRS Radio.
Good morning. I want to tell you a true story about a lady with a VW Rabbit that was diesel.
Okay.
That we bought a 1979 VW Rabbit that was diesel. And that was like having something that nobody ever heard of. And there was one place in St. Louis that we knew of where you could get parts and service on them, and it was in Pagedale.
Huh?
It was out on St. Charles Rock Road. I was sent there for parts, and I was almost out of fuel, and I asked them where the nearest diesel station was. They told me that I had to go a couple blocks down on the Rock Road, and there was one there. I went up. You had to go to this little window and pay for the gas and tell them what you wanted. And I did that, and I went to the car and started pumping. And I thought, boy, this is going in for awfully fast for diesel, because diesel was so slow going in.
Sure.
So I stopped, and I went back up to the little place where I paid for it, and I said, hey, are you giving me diesel? They said, lady, you said you wanted diesel, but you picked up the regular nozzle, so we turned it on. So I called up the place where I had just come from to get the parts and told them what had happened, and they said, you shouldn't drive it. You got to have the car towed and have the tank emptied, and we'll send a tow truck right there. So I was late getting home, and I told my husband what happened, because I went and got some diesel after they got my tank emptied. And he said, I just have one question. How would a woman that was so stupid to put regular gas into a diesel car was smart enough not to drive it?
Well, you realized it before you were able to drive it.
I just knew I couldn't.
Yeah.
I knew I was in territory that I had no business in.
Yeah, but you had realized halfway through filling up the car that you were filling up the car with the wrong gas.
Well, I knew there was something wrong going in.
Yeah.
And I knew I was going to get in trouble.
Yeah. So how did the car turn out? Did you get it fixed?
Of course.
Yeah.
They drained it, they cleaned the tank, and then I drove back to the place where I put the wrong gas in, and they made sure that I got the right gas.
Yeah, let me ask you this question. Did you ever do it again? Did you ever make that mistake again?
Oh, heavens. Heavens, no. However,
yes.
we bought a used Rabbit one time from a lady, and we found out that every time the weather got really cold, she would take and put a gallon of regular gas in with the diesel to make it run better.
Oh, because the diesel is such a thicker fuel, she would cut it with regular gas?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I mean, it worked, but, this was in the 80s.
Yeah.
And nobody understood even why we even bought a diesel car.
Yeah, I guess it's for gas mileage. I think diesel gives you better gas mileage.
It'll also freeze. Diesel will freeze in the cold.
Okay, well, that's why she probably then put the gas in there. I don't know if I would recommend that. But apparently Johnny Londoff, or Jimmy Saffo over there at Johnny Londoff, told me if you have to pick one, it's better to put diesel in a gas engine than gas in a diesel engine, because gas in a diesel apparently does more damage than diesel gas in a regular engine.
Oh, yes. I was told that I would have ruined the whole engine.
Yeah. Well, Norma, good stuff. Glad you were smart enough to correct the mistake after you made it, and pretty smart that you didn't do it again. Thank you, Norma.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Good story. Yeah. 922 here, Big 550 KTRS. I'm shocked that it happens as often as I thought it would. I've never heard anybody doing anything. So now, two things. Heidi did it, and then the story with my sister. So there you go. All right. 314-931-5877. 314-931-5877. Text your comments to 84126. The weather the last couple of days has been absolutely delicious. Sitting out on the deck, having a nice little dinner, enjoying watching the birds fly around, and it's been great. That deck, I've been out on the deck, and I've noticed, boy, this thing is long in the tooth. It's been there since the house was built 30-something years ago. So it's all coming down, just a matter of weeks before Pat Leahy comes out with all of the guys and all the trucks and all the equipment. He's going to take that deck off, and he's going to put a new deck on. He's going to use metal framing. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be he's going to put the picture frame on it. He's going to wrap it in composite decking. He's going to put the rail around. He's going to put some lights on. He's going to put the steps all the way down. Get a brand new deck. It's going to be gorgeous. And when he's finished, he's going to slap a 50-year warranty on that deck because it's going to last 50 years. Emerson's going to be 60 years old, and that warranty will still be in effect. Think about that for a second. That's why you go to Pat Leahy, because he builds it, and he builds it right. And he's been building it right since he got started in 1995. So the track record is there. The pricing is there. The showroom is where you want to go to see all the different rail options and fence options and style designs, right? We got the picture frame and the intermediate, right? Not every slat is the same. We got sort of different side slats. Anyway, and I'm like, I want it, but I don't want to pay anymore. No. This is this cheaper option. This is a better option. This is $5 more. This is $10 less, right? You go to the showroom and you can see it all for yourself. Outdoor living is where you want to go to build that new deck, build it right, and enjoy it for the rest of your life. Outdoor Living or OutdoorLivingInc.com. Captain Paul, St. Louis, Plaza Company Traffic Center.
McGraw 64 East bogs down around 170. In Moscow Mills, 61 South is closed at Highway C due to an accident, with traffic backed up to a mile south of Troy High School. And one southbound lane of 55 is closed from Park to Arsenal until 1 o'clock this afternoon for road work. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rockwood School District. Are you looking for a new part-time or full-time job opportunity? Consider Rockwood School District, with openings for custodians, cafeteria workers, and groundskeepers, with great benefits, competitive pay, and flexible hours. Apply online at rsdmo.org/jobs. That's rsdmo.org/jobs. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
If you need windows, if you need doors, write this phone number down, 314-739-0002. That's the phone number to the window store. It's not a nationally known company. It's a local company based right here in St. Louis. Larry Thornton is the owner. His son Joe runs it with him. 38 years they've been doing this. 38 years. They've been beating the big boys at their very game. Price, selection, style, customer service, installation, you name it, they've beat the big boys. So if you're looking for windows, the window store. They've got windows and doors, wswindow.net. Everything is energy efficient. Doesn't make sense to sell a window that's not energy efficient. There is no upselling. They're not going to charge you extra for the lock. They're not going to charge you extra for the pane of glass. Doesn't work like that at the window store. They give you one price. They shake your hand. They say, we hope to hear from you. There is no jacking up the price so I can bring it down. There's no standing in your living room, stomping your feet, trying to hard sell you. The window store doesn't have time because they're too busy putting in windows and doors for everybody else. So if you're in the market for windows or doors, Larry Thornton and Joe, my neighbor, they're good peeps, 38 years, the window store, or wswindow.net.
It's Julie Buck here to tell you that the patio is open at Bishop's Post right next to Chesterfield Mall. Get your reservations in now and go to Bishop's Post. You will love it. Tell them Julie Buck sent you, bishopspost.com.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. You know how spring works in St. Louis. One week you're running the furnace, the next week you're flipping on the air conditioner. It's weather whiplash, and your HVAC system feels it too. That's why spring is the perfect time to have the experts at Premier Heating and Cooling check things out. Their technicians go through 5 years of training, well beyond industry standards. So when they perform a tune-up, they're making sure your system is running safely, efficiently, and ready for whatever the next St. Louis weather swing brings. If your furnace or air conditioner is older or starting to struggle, Premier can help with that too. They offer financing options that make replacing your system far more manageable, and a new unit can mean better comfort and lower energy bills all year long. So whether it's a quick tune-up or time for an upgrade, call the team that knows how to handle St. Louis weather. 636-916-1122, premierheatingcooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Jill Farmer for Patriot Build Sunrooms. You've known and loved Patriot Sunrooms for decades. Gorgeous sunrooms, solariums, beautifully crafted with patented glass to keep you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. And now Patriot Builds is here with so many expanded options for outdoor living. Covered patios and pergolas, the wildly popular outdoor motorized power screens, plus everything you can dream up for a heavenly backyard space. Outdoor kitchens, waterfalls, fireplaces. Patriot Builds can now do it all. Visit their showroom in Kirkwood or patriotbuildsstl.com.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
It's the Big Sports Show presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, I put gasoline in my diesel UPS truck. Almost immediately, it started to run bad. They were not happy with me. No, I would think not. You never make the diesel gas mistake with an electric vehicle. That is true. Never add gas to diesel thinking it'll help with the fuel mileage. Diesel burns under very high compression, no spark plugs. Diesel engines are known for their longevity, 300 to 500,000 miles. Hey, McGraw, as a taxpayer, I thought I could take advantage of the TARP program, and I went out and bought, I think it was like 2,000 shares of Bank of America. Very cheap to this day. I still hold about 3/4 of those shares, but the main problem that I may have caused for myself is because I should have bought J.P. Morgan or Wells Fargo because their stock has increased tenfold, whereas Bank of America has only gone fivefold. Yeah. Yeah, Wells Fargo got down to like $6 at some point. Somebody says this is a family show. I don't know what that means. Here's another one. Hey, what's the list of St. Louis County towns that contract with St. Louis County Police? Good question. So earlier we were talking about North County Police Cooperative, which is a cooperative where towns in North County contract with this third-party police department. Delwood, Pine Lawn, Weldon Spring, Veneta Park, Hanley Hills, Velda Village Hills, Floridel Hills, Beverly Hills, Uplands Park, and Velda City. They all contract, and I'm reading straight from the northcountypolice.com website. They all contract with the North County Cooperative. Now, I also pulled up here for you the list of towns that I guess could contract with the North County Cooperative if they wanted to, but they choose to contract with the St. Louis County Police. Blackjack, Fenton, Grantwood Village, Green Park, Jennings, Kinloch, Marlboro, Northwood Court, Pasadena Hills, Twin Oaks, Valley Park, Wilbur Park, and Wildwood. You also don't have any police departments. You contract with St. Louis County Police. So we have like dueling police departments where you can, you know how like St. Louis City has one police department? It would be like if you turned, I don't know, South County into towns, and then instead of going with the St. Louis City Police, you would then create your own police department and then pay for it yourself and then duplicate the efforts of the St. Louis City Police. So you can, if you want to, in St. Louis County, have your own police department, contract with the North County Cooperative, or apparently contract with St. Louis County Police. Ray, line 1. Good morning, Ray. You're on the Big 550 KTRS.
Yeah, McGraw, I was just listening about your comments or all of the conversation about diesel versus gasoline.
Yes.
I wanted to let you know the same thing happens with airplanes. We had a fellow that was flying back to St. Louis from wherever he had been, and he had stopped to get fuel, and they put, and now this is a single-engine airplane. It runs on aviation fuel, avgas as they call it, and where he stopped, they put jet fuel in it. Well, that's not going to work. So what they ended up having to do was drain the tanks, put a little bit of the aviation fuel in there, shake the wings up and down to flush the tanks out, drain that out, and then fill it up with avgas again.
Was there any long-term damage to the plane?
I'm sorry?
Was there any long-term damage to the plane?
No. Everything was fine after that, but they had to flush the tanks with to get the rest of the jet fuel out of there.
Wow. I don't know if I'd want to fly in a plane that had the wrong fuel in it.
Well, he didn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah. So you work out at one of the airports then?
I volunteer out at Spirit of St. Louis Airport with an organization out there called Wings of Hope.
Oh, yeah. That's a wonderful organization. Sure, yeah. Yeah, you guys go and get transplants, right? You go and get body parts and bring them back, right?
No. What we serve primarily an area where, for instance, if kids out in some part of the country need to come to Shriners Hospital or St. Louis Children's Hospital or something like that, and they don't, it's too far to drive, and they don't have the means to fly commercial to come in. We'll go pick them up and bring them into the hospital and take them back home again at no charge.
Yeah, that's a pretty sweet deal. I know a little bit about Wings of Hope. There's that little big old building you guys got over there as you go back there, right?
We've got a nice hangar there. Yes.
Yeah. Good stuff. Ray, great story. Who knew? Thanks for checking in, and thanks for your volunteering. It sounds like a great cause. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
Have
a good day.
You got it. Who knew that so many people put the wrong gas in the wrong engine? It's a major thing. Joe, line 2. Joe, good morning. You're on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, McGraw, we got 3 questions that your listeners have been dying to
All right.
about.
There you go. The inquiring minds want to know. What do you got?
Okay. What's your middle name?
William.
Oh, that's nice.
My full name is McGraw William Charles Milhaven. William was my father's middle name. Charles is my confirmation name after Uncle Charlie. Yeah, a.k.a. Ben Affleck. Yeah, Uncle Charlie was my godfather, and I took Charles as my confirmation name.
Weren't you supposed to have saints for confirmation names?
Yeah, St. Charles.
There is, of course. Gosh. Jeez. Oh, good Lord.
Okay.
Okay, I gotcha. Your astrological sign?
I am Aquarius.
Oh, very good. So am I.
Yes. February 8th, 1967, the day I was born.
Mine's
born in a snowstorm.
January 29th.
Oh, that's my grandmother's birthday. I was I was born in a snowstorm, and my grandfather had my mother 9 months pregnant. They were rushing her to the hospital to have me in the middle of a snowstorm, and she had to climb over snowdrifts to get into a cab to be taken to the hospital. And as my grandfather was putting his daughter into the cab to have a child, he turns to her and says, "Don't worry about it. I'll pay the fare. You can pay me back."
Oh, no. He wasn't serious, was he?
Oh, no. He was dead serious. Yeah.
Okay.
No, the man did not throw around nickels. Yeah, no. He threw around nickels like manhole covers, as the saying goes.
That was a generational thing. I think people in that era, because they all grew up very, 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 very poor, they learned the value of a nickel, without a doubt.
So, or he was just a cheap. Yes.
Okay, and now that Emerson's in your life, I'm sure you have a favorite Disney character.
My favorite Disney character. I would have to say my favorite Disney character is, and Carl's going to yell at me for this, there's a lot of them. But the guy in Frozen's pretty good, right? Kristoff is pretty good, but he's not my favorite. My favorite Disney character is Merida from Brave.
She don't need no man.
That's right. She's, if you've seen Brave, it's set in Scotland and back in the olden days, and she wants to learn how to use a bow and arrow, and Dad won't let her because she's a girl, and so they run a contest to see which man will get Merida to marry, because we're going to figure out who's the best archer, and she blows them all away, and she's the best archer, so she doesn't want a man, and she goes on to live this wonderful life not needing a man. So that's my
sounds like you've seen that movie more than once.
I may or may not have seen that movie more than once, and I like the image, and I like the tale that teaches Emerson that she can go and do it on her own, and she doesn't need a man.
Good dad.
So
yes.
There you go. So Merida from Brave is my favorite Disney character.
Good enough.
Joe, thanks for checking in. Have yourself a good day.
You too.
You got it. Yeah. Right. I can't tell if Merida is Pixar or...
It's Pixar.
Does that mean it's Disney? Does that count?
Still is Disney.
Yeah. What's the movie where all the princesses get together?
Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty funny scene.
Ralph wrecks the internet.
Ralph wrecks the internet, and then the one girl is trying to save the internet, and she runs across all of the Disney characters in a room, and they're all the princesses, and they're all sitting there.
And they can't understand Merida because, and they look at each other, she's Pixar. Not that she's Irish, it's that she's Pixar.
Yeah, it was actually, those Wreck-It Ralph movies are pretty good.
They're... Sarah Silverman.
Yeah.
She's a Disney princess, too.
Yeah, the first one's really good, and the second one's really good. Those are two really good movies. All right, 314-931-5877. 314-931-5877. Text your comments to 84126. How is Rosie doing? Is she puppy trained yet? No, she's not. The attorney you had earlier confidentially said you could get a trust and a will for $4,000. All this is done by a law. Yeah, okay. Done on a computer. Sure, yes. You go and have a computer do all of your taxes, and you fine. Don't have a thinking person do your yes. But speaking of that, do you know that Kevin Lloyd, while doing someone's taxes, or someone came to him and showed him the taxes they did on one of those software programs, Kevin Lloyd was like, "This is wrong," And they're like, well, the software. And Kevin Lloyd went all the way up to the top of the software company and was like, look, your software is wrong. And ultimately, they had to send out a patch to fix the software because Kevin Lloyd caught the glitch in the software. So those who rely on artificial intelligence, that's what you'll get, artificial intelligence. Give me real intelligence and a real lawyer as opposed to some nameless, faceless computer program that you're filling out that you don't even know how to fill out. So anyway, do what you want. The data center guy you were talking to on the other night, what night was that? Does he have any written articles that can be referenced? It was Loudoun County in Northern Virginia, and we replayed that on Tuesday.
So you played it on your night show on Monday. We played it on Tuesday.
Okay, and it's on KTRS.com.
Both versions. You can listen to America at Night or Tuesday's podcast.
And they're just virtually the same thing. I think we just changed the intro.
Yeah.
And in terms of articles, I don't know if there was an article. We found him, and we had him on. It's got to be an article somewhere. But it was Loudoun County in Northern Virginia, and he's known as the godfather of Data Center Alley because Northern Virginia has so many data centers. And the county is doing so well, they make $1 billion off of data centers. And they've rebuilt schools, they've paved roads, they've built parks, and they've lowered the property tax some significant number because of the data centers that are generating tax revenue at a large clip. Speaking of that, somebody keeps trying to tell me that Weldon Spring is not in St. Charles. Weldon Spring is in St. Charles. I don't know what to tell you. Also, people are upset with me when I talk about police departments because Weldon Spring has their own police department, and they're like, oh, does Weldon Spring need their own police department? No, they don't need their own police department. We could be part of a larger St. Louis County police force and do just fine. Then there was somebody who was upset with Kara Spencer. The texts are going crazy today. Somebody said, are you upset that Kara Spencer sold out the city of St. Louis with this data center? Look, the data center at the Armory is a $3.1 billion project. The city is broke. People are leaving the city in droves. Businesses are closing up shop. You have a water system that is so antiquated, you have to use Rams money to fix the water system. You have a water system built for 1 million people. You got 280,000 people. It needs complete overhaul. Your sewer system has wood sewers. The city of St. Louis is dying. It's dying. And Ness Sandoval is the demographer who just put out a piece of paper yesterday that St. Louis, the region of St. Louis, is now number one in terms of lack of growth in the city of St. Louis. Let me see if I can find this while I'm here. Ness Sandoval is a demographer. He's been on the show a couple of times. He's a wonderfully nice man. The demographic story of the 15-county St. Louis region is becoming clearer. It's not one of stability, it's one of transition. The region has moved beyond population stagnation and is now on a trajectory that increasingly resembles Pittsburgh, a metro that is already experiencing a long arc of sustained low birth rates, aging, and eventual population decline. St. Louis metropolitan area now ranks first among large metropolitan areas in percentage decline in births. Less people are being born here than anywhere else in the country. That's it. That's the end. When you have more deaths than births, and you're leading the charge in lack of births, our region is dying. And you're going to sit there and tell me you don't want to build a $3.1 billion data center because why? We're dying. We build nuclear power plants. We can figure out how to build a safe nuclear power plant. We have industries that use water. We figure out how to use water. We no longer dump toxins into the Mississippi River. We no longer dump toxins in the Missouri River. We can figure this out. Yeah, maybe our energy bills will go up. We can figure that out too. But you're going to turn down, in a dying region, in a dying town, a $3.1 billion data center because you don't like the hum next to the highway? We don't have the luxury of turning this down. Get down on your knees and thank God somebody wants to build a $3.1 billion data center in your town. That's why it was unanimously approved in the city. It's a no-brainer. So, no, Kara Spencer did not sell out St. Louis by this data center. She's trying to save St. Louis with these data centers. 947 here, Big 550 KTRS. Sorry, let me get off my soapbox here and tell you about Appliance Discounters, because Appliance Discounters has 5 area locations, and they now have a sale going on. Normally, you get deep discounts on all name brands, all the factory warranties, all the factory rebates, all of those things. 12 months, same as cash financing. When you buy, they'll deliver it free. They'll take away the old one. They'll take care of you. And now at Appliance Discounters, you pay no sales tax on Energy Star rated appliances. Now's the time to buy an Energy Star rated appliance at Appliance Discounters because you get the great rates, same factory warranties and rebates, plus no sales tax on Energy Star rated appliances. It's been going on right now, started last week. Appliance Discounters, 5 area locations, 6 total of the distribution center in Bridgeton. You got Afton, St. Louis, St. Charles, Maplewood, Baldwin, but go to theappliancediscounters.com to find the one nearest you. Drive right by the big box store and save yourself some serious money. Theappliancediscounters.com.
I've been asked to say a word about Allen Roofing. That's not fair. I can't say it in a word. If they just did roofs, I probably could. I would say roofs. But they can do siding. They could replace it. They could put leaf guards on. They could reattach it like they had to do for me, where my gutter kind of came away from the house. Siding issues, they carry James Hardy, the very best. They can fix that too. Basically, if it's something you could see from the outside of your home or your office, they can fix it, improve it, or replace it. Look, it's probably the biggest investment you're ever going to make. Protect it. Absolutely. And nobody does it better than Allen Roofing. Check out all the reviews online. Everybody else seems to know. I shouldn't have to tell you these things. For all of your roofing needs and so much more, Allen Roofing. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Explore how you can manage your money day or night with convenient digital banking tools from Royal Banks of Missouri. No matter where you are, you can cross banking off your to-do list with a variety of features available at your fingertips. Monitor your accounts, deposit checks, schedule bill payments, plus more, anytime, anywhere. Visit RoyalBanksOfMo.com or download the Royal Banks of Missouri mobile app to get started. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Scott, remember when the Queen of Carpet and the Princess of Pile were flying around the arch selling flooring?
Andrea, that was the Queen of Carpet and the Princess of Tile.
Oh, that's right. But we don't need shtick here at Best Buy Flooring.
That's right, because our in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile are already at low, low prices.
Come see us at our 3 area locations, North County, South County, and Metro East. Open 7 days a week.
Plus, free financing on approved credit. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
Hey, it's Josh, and I want to tell you about a dentist office, My Dentist Office, and their new location, now open in Lake St. Louis Dentistry. Dr. Landgraf and the group of dentists have been my dentists my entire life. They've been my parents' dentists for their entire lives, and you don't keep generation after generation of clients unless you're really good at what you do. Now with 3 locations, Florissant, Creve Coeur, and the new one. Lake St. Louis Dentistry, half-mile from 4064, and you can get an appointment today. Check out my dentist, LakeStLouisDentistry.com.
This is Mariah, third generation at Newsteaders Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsteaders, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
Stay connected with the Big 550 KTRS, streaming 24/7 online at KTRS.com or on the KTRS app. Powered by JBL Financial. Stream Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line. Let's see here. Let's see here. What's the one? I'm trying to get to the 6-3 here. It says, the city is not dying. Stop it, McGraw, with the overdramatic stuff like you always do. You got a lot of good stuff going on in the city. Quit being so dramatic. Okay, look. Ness Sandoval is a demographer. World-class professor at St. Louis University, who has just put out another paper saying that there are more deaths in the city of St. Louis than births. If you have more people dying than being born or moving in, what does that mean? That means you're dying as a community. That doesn't mean that the Botanical Garden isn't beautiful. That doesn't mean I don't like to go to Forest Park. That doesn't mean the zoo isn't wonderful. That means we're dying as a region. And we need to come to grips with it. And by sticking your head in the sand and saying, stop saying bad things about the city of St. Louis, it's the truth. I'm sorry. There are more deaths than there are births. I didn't make that up. Ness Sandoval, a world-class demographer who lives in the region, is the one ringing the bell. If you got a problem, take it up with him. But there's more deaths than births. I'm just telling you the facts. And there's a person who wants to build a $3 billion data center right in the middle of this thing. Might not be a bad idea to listen to him. That's the point I'm making. Mike, line 2, good morning on the Big 550 KTRS.
McGraw, you have said a lot of really good things about data centers. I've been wanting to comment for some time. My wife works for a data center, and there is a lot of misinformation that's been spread out about data centers. The first thing is the data centers, at least in the St. Louis area, have an intercooling system, so there is no water discharge. They cool their systems with a ground source cooling the same way any high-rise in Clayton or downtown cools itself. Pulls water up, it's a consistent temperature. There is no discharge. As far as the improvement or the detriment to the infrastructure, just like if you lived out in rural Missouri and wanted to bring electric to your house, the cost is on you. So when they need to improve or increase the volume of electric, it's on the data center to do that themselves, not the community. The other part of this is you're 100% correct with respect to the city of St. Louis, Festus, Pacific, and all these other areas where this misinformation has been spread. There is nothing going on really there other than industry, an industry like this. And it brings billions of dollars of tax dollars to those communities. That's the reality.
Stop trying to get us all confused with the facts, Mike.
Well, I hate doing that, I know, since there is just so much information. If you're getting your information from TikTok and Instagram, you're probably not looking at the right source.
It is unbelievable. There are already data centers here. People are already living next to a data center, and they don't even realize it, and yet they'll go
That's
to
100% correct.
They'll go to the town and complain and stay till 3 o'clock in the morning complaining about a data center that they don't even realize they live next to a data center.
but everybody wants AI. Everybody wants to get the emergency alerts on their telephones. Everybody wants to be able to search on their telephones while driving in their vehicles. You know how that happens?
Right. And nobody wants to be taxed.
Right, but there's no need for it to be taxed because these data centers bring in billions of dollars of taxes.
Mike, thanks for the phone
and
call.
They do employ people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mike, thanks. Appreciate it. All right, I got to tell you about Walter Noel Florist. It is Professional Administrations Week. What does that mean? That means the person who runs the office, the professional administration person who runs the office, time to give them a little love. They want to make sure you know that it's Professional Administration Week at Walter Noel Florist. What does that mean? Flowers, gifts, shower them with appreciation. And the way to do it, WKF.com, 1-800-341-ROSE, or you can walk into any one of the locations, bring a fistful of flowers and gifts, and put them right on the desk, right on the cubicle, right in the corner office. The person who is considered the professional administrator in your office, make sure they're taken care of because they take care of you. The office would grind to a halt. You know what? If you didn't have a professional administration person, it would be like putting diesel in a gas engine. It just wouldn't work. Walter Noel Florist will take care of you. Flowers, gifts, and everything else. 1-800-341-ROSE or WKF.com. Let Walter Noel be your family florist. We're done. Thanks for putting up with me. Thanks for the phone calls. Thanks for the texts. Jill and Frank coming your way next. We'll see you tomorrow.
Frank Cusimano and Jill Farmer, weekdays 10 to noon, right here on KTRS, the talk of